Should I do it now?
I mean, yeah, because that way we'll get started sooner because it's going to start getting hot.
Yeah. Yep.
And
well, we need to get rolling.
Yeah, see, I found like a bunch of books that I forgot I had and CDs and.
You know who just contacted me today?
Who?
Tim from Holmes Law.
Yeah, he has a new band.
He got a new band. He sent me like a link to download the new EP.
And I mean, they're playing a show.
Yeah.
In Lancaster, right? Like, or
yeah.
So far. So far.
Well, Clark's playing tomorrow night.
Oh, that's tomorrow night?
Yeah. We're thinking about maybe.
What time is it at?
It's at like 6.
Where is it at?
It's in Riverside.
I wouldn't even be able to make it to Riverside. It's by 6.
But they're playing for like 2.5 hours. Because they're like an instrumental surf band.
Well, maybe I'll go head over there after work.
Go for a little bit. Yeah, like we're just gonna hang out after Janelle goes to school and go down there for a bit. I think it's not 100%. Depends on how she's feeling and stuff.
Depends on how I'm feeling. Oh wait, I can't go tomorrow night.
What's tomorrow night?
Well, let me look. I have to see if I have enough money. If I have enough money, there's tickets go on sale tomorrow. Like they're releasing the last of the tickets for the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla shows this weekend. I want to try to go to at least one night because it's like every indie wrestler in the world, like worldwide. Like there's this guy Zack Sabre Jr. He's from England. He lives in Japan right now. Everybody, including Finn Balor and Kevin Owens, say he's the best wrestler in the world. I've seen him on video, but watching him in person, it's a whole other thing. And he's wrestling.
That's cool.
So he might win that tournament, and I would love to be there. And then,
so you just need to buy the tickets?
Well, if they're releasing the last of them, I have to be. Yeah, I have to be.
Gotcha.
I don't trust my phone. I got to be here on the computer at 8.
Okay.
But
I mean.
If I go for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to.
Well, no, because then I could go. Maybe I should. It was perfect. Yeah, you're right.
I think it's 6 or. Let me look and see what time.
Well, I have the Facebook.
It's
invite.
like 6 or 6:30, and I think they play for like 2 hours. So we probably won't go the whole time, obviously, but we figured at least we could say hey to Nikki and stuff.
Let's see. Events.
There you go.
They always move stuff around so much.
Yeah, 6:30. Okay. Free. Oh yeah, 6:30 to 8:30.
If I go for like an hour, like I don't know how far away is this.
I don't know. Riverside is big. I'm not sure.
What part of Riverside are we talking about? Let's find out.
Get your
Ugh, what is here.com? Why is it opening?
And why is that?
What is here.com? I hate you.
This is just a way to. I don't know. I almost feel like you should.
Is this like Facebook? Yeah. What is
just
this?
Put like Ukaipa or something or Redlands, So
no. Here, hold on.
Where is it? Oh, I see. It's down.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Well, it's like Moreno Valley almost.
Ugh. Moreno Valley is way farther than you made it out to be.
Depends on what part of Moreno Valley.
Like the mall.
It's like 25 minutes.
Which way do you go? Because I tried 2 different ways, and it both took
over the mountain.
Yeah, that took. I got behind a truck.
Well, that's true. There's that risk.
And then I went the other way, and there was like weird traffic.
Well, yeah, you like cut down to 60.
Yeah.
And that like area in the 60 is weird because you drive. There's like nothing there.
I can't copy this. They intentionally want you to use. I bet you Facebook owns that or something, or some stupid here.com. The heck is that?
It sure looks an awful lot like Google. Like, I'm surprised they haven't been sued yet.
Should just type in like, what's the deal with here.com? Yeah. All right, so if I'm coming, let me just see from like my work.
From your work, yeah.
From
still really hate that.
That's not my work anymore. I got to change that. Well, whatever. Esri. Oh, who's? What is that?
Like a Facebook message? Facebook message.
Oh, Facebook message. Oh, it's Alex. Oh, yeah. Spoilers. No.
The wrestler.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's your phone.
Oh, Matt said, hey, can you try enabling YouTube live chat? Is that a thing you can do?
I don't know what that is. No, we have to be using that thing that we don't want to use.
Okay. I think because he was saying something like he is having a hard time on his phone or something.
Well, if you're in the mobile app, it won't. It'll only go to our phones for some. The Hangouts are stupid in some ways. You know, like it won't go into the chat when you chat from the mobile. Everything is stupid. I don't understand.
Brendo said everything is stupid.
Let me see though. But even then, we wouldn't be able to see it? How would we see the YouTube live chat?
So if they're
we wouldn't be able to see it. I'm not doing that. Nope. We couldn't. I don't know if we can, and even if we could, I'm not going to have a third window open. That's too many windows.
They could like talk to each other, but we just couldn't.
But then we couldn't see it, and then people would be like, "Why aren't they mentioning it? What?" Now that's Matthew's message. Just tell him no.
I am. I'm just a slow typer.
Well, he can hear us. Is he watching this? Because we'd have to we can't use Hangouts if we do that.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why the Hangouts app doesn't why is some Google stuff like so stupid? Like they're Google. Just figure it out. All right. So what was I doing? Oh yeah. So it's 20 minutes from work.
That's not so bad. Well, then how long would it be to get back to your house?
Okay. So then I do that and then to home. So like this is how long, but then it depends on the time again. Like,
well, yeah, but just to get an idea,
30 minutes.
So I mean,
if
it's up to you. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. If I'd be pushed, I'd have to leave at I get there because it starts at what?
6:30.
So if it starts at 6:30, I'd have to leave at like 7:15. That's not even. I don't think that's worth it.
Well, yeah, it's up to you. Again, I don't even know 100% we're going to go. So
I'd love to go. Everybody in Riverside should go to the Night Tides at Canyon Crest Town Center. See Clark's band, the Night Tides.
The Night Tides. They're really good. I've never seen them live still, though, so I want to. And they don't play that often anymore. So
I guess their other show got rained out, and that's why they're doing this show.
So they rescheduled. Although I don't know if you saw, but there is like a 25% chance of rain tomorrow night. Which, how horrible would that be if they got rained out
in the Inland Empire?
A huge dry spell, heat wave for like months, and they do it again, and it's the one night that it rains again. That would be bad.
It'd be bad. All right, we got to get this show on the road. It's already 8:45. We're like, what is wrong with us?
I'm gonna put my phone on vibrate in case people are texting me again.
Check. Wait. Check.
Checkity check.
Did you see Mike today tried to rail on the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special just because he's like, oh, it's happening. Disney is ruining everything. Mike? Yeah.
Why?
Because he's so anti-Disney.
It's amazing.
That's what I said. And he's like, oh, don't. How dare you defend what's ruining my child? I know he was joking. Yes, he said ruining child. And then I said, if you want you can't even watch your childhood Star Wars. Yeah, that's like you have to have VHS. Like, and then I also said, because then I said like Star Wars crossovers have been happening for years, and then I listed a bunch. I'm like, that's just the official ones.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not get into parodies. I mean, Hardware Wars. I mean, that was Spaceballs and all those other things, and like, come on, dude.
And it's great.
And it's really good.
Also, it came out like a year ago, so
he's just like Mr. like Disney, anti-Disney everything. It's very annoying.
Well, You've seen some Phineas and Ferb. It's great. Like it's a great show.
And then I'm like, yeah, because Disney ruined Marvel so much. Just really ruined it.
Also a great crossover is the Phineas and Ferb one. If you watch the Phineas and Ferb crossover,
no.
The whole thing is like the Avengers.
Because those aren't on Netflix.
No. But like the Avengers meet up with them. Oh, I guess Phineas and Ferb make this invention that accidentally switches all the Avengers' powers around. So like Spider-Man has Hulk powers and it mixes them all up. And they need to get back.
Spider-Man's in it?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's got everybody.
So amazing. Disney can do...
They can do animated stuff. Spider-Man's in all this stuff on their animated stuff.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought the Spider-Man... So Ultimate Spider-Man is Disney?
Yeah.
I thought it was Fox.
No, it's all
or
Disney.
Sony.
No, it's like within the... I mean, more or less in the... It's got Agent Coulson in it. Like, it's in the
oh, yeah, duh. What am I thinking about?
Yeah, dude, it's all...
I watched it. I wasn't even thinking about that.
I think it's great. Everything is all together.
All right. Oh, wait, I didn't post that we're hanging out.
Okay.
I was forgetting something.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their track record with Marvel stuff, there's no reason to doubt that they could do something good with stuff.
Unless you're Grandpa Mike.
I love you, Mike, but I have to disagree on this one.
Well, he just seriously rips on Disney any chance he can.
Phineas and Ferb of all things, like
because he doesn't watch this, that he doesn't know. He's Grandpa Mike now.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to rip on some of their like dumb teen sitcoms, I'll get behind that. Some of those are pretty bad.
That's all, but that's not new.
But that's been going on for years. And the people that do like have freakouts, well, look what they've done. That style of show has been done since we were kids. Like Full House and Saved by the Bell, that's easily the precursors to that.
Well, even before that, I mean, like all that's been around forever.
None of that is new.
There's always been dumb tween and kid shows. Like
but people act like, oh, Disney
and also, it's not for you. Like that's what I always have to say. Like right away is it's not for you.
My
you
love
freaking idiot. And like. So that right away should just shut up, and then if you want to keep going, we can. But right away, like it's not for you.
Right.
But yeah,
Disney's not making those thinking. How can I make that 30-year-old dude happy and teens?
Yeah, like with this children's show.
Yeah.
25-year-old men are complaining about our children's show. Better just race everything.
Database Salute your shorts and all that stuff. All of those things.
Yeah. Because I'm like, Disney didn't ruin your Star Wars. George Lucas did. And way before any of this.
If anyone's going to fix it, it's going to be Disney.
That's what I was about to say that. And then I'm like, I think I've proved my point enough. Like, because I could go on. I'm like, think about all the things. Because like Star Wars was done. Done. Gone and done, and let's light the fire and
people were happy about
consecrate the ashes and just done. And like you got Star Wars Rebels, you got all this stuff, you got stuff in the parks, you got new Star Tours, which actually ended up being amazing. You got all this other stuff. Everybody needs to chill.
Everybody
let it happen. And I swear, if I see another article or another thing, or someone says enough already, Marvel, I'm over superheroes, I'm like,
shut up.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Did they watch, dude?
Plus
Ant-Man was incredible.
We've like that same person was probably for years like, let's do this, let's do it, and like now you have it, and this is just too much. This is just classic. Like one, we're just so over. Like we have everything we could ever want, and now but then we've always got to find something to complain about, so we just start freaking devouring ourselves and hate everything about it and just want to.
The good thing is Marvel's making billions and billions of dollars. They're not stopping anytime soon. These people can whine all they want, but as long as every movie they makes like hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, even Ant-Man, which is a relatively lower performing one, still made like over 300 million like worldwide, and it costs like 120 or something like that to make. So they're doing fine. I think it's closing in on like 400 million, I think, worldwide. And I mean, for a Marvel movie, that's not much, but for most other movies, that's stellar, you know. People are stupid. And that's Ant-Man. People made fun of Ant-Man. Can't make a movie about Ant-Man.
Oh, it's already hot.
I'm just so glad that Paul Rudd is. I mean, dude, Paul Rudd's going to be in the next Avengers. It's incredible.
It's going to be in Civil War, dude.
Everything is awesome. Lego Movie was right.
And Jason Segel, I don't know if you knew this, but he said it on when he was on Marin. Jason Segel's writing one of the Lego movies.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Because Mark's like, what are you working on right now? He's like, I'm actually writing one of the Lego movies.
Because multiple ones.
Well, because they have to there's ones that are in various stages of planning, just because the animation cycle is. I mean, you weren't there. Lord and Miller, we're writing, we're working on the next one, the script, but we're not directing that again because that was 2 years of our lives, which is gone.
Right.
We can't do that again. Plus now that I don't know, they're doing everything now, and they wouldn't be able to do that if they tied themselves down to directing another. Lego movie, because again that takes 2 years.
It was so good, so much better than because
that was better than anybody thought it was remotely going to be.
There's been a lot of toy tie-in movies and various things like that have just been awful. So there's no reason it had to be good. But oh my god!
But it was Lord and Miller, and we should have. I mean,
from the moment I saw it, I was on board, but I did not expect it to be as amazing as it was, and it was so. Good job.
And then they made freaking Last Man on Earth, which was the best show, and I can't wait for it to come back. And all the teaser things are freaking and now it's gonna be they're on the road or
so good. What's gonna happen to the old the other people? Are they gonna follow them? Are we gonna know? And someone's out in space. What the heck?
It's his brother.
Well, I know, but I mean, how are they gonna contact him?
Eventually, maybe his space capsule will follow the Earth.
I guess, or maybe they'll find a way to use a radio or something.
But
how would you know where they are?
I
know they know. It's gonna be awesome. Are we ready to do this here?
Or it could have just been a throwaway thing.
Could have been just a gag. Either way,
because Jason Sudeikis is pretty busy.
That's true.
Being in movies and stuff. I just saw a preview of something that he was in.
Good?
I think we're good. I'm sorry. I'm already spacing.
It's all right. We should start though.
All right. I hit a key.
Okay.
Oh, it's hot. I'm wearing pants.
I'm glad you're wearing pants.
I could have been wearing shorts.
Oh, okay.
But I was too lazy to change. Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creasy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
And we are back in the heat.
Yep.
It's Monday night because
it cooled off all week and now heated up for us to record again. Because it was not too bad at the end of the week.
Yeah, it was still, and not too bad. We mean 91, 92. I'm over this. I'm over it, man.
But everyone should know that we are wearing pants, as you pointed out.
Why are you wearing pants?
Well, I'm wearing shorts, but I mean, we're not bottomless. Although I think it would be funny to do a podcast two dudes with no pants on, but you just never see it. Just look like this, so you'd never know. We could do that. That's a good hook. Should we do that?
No.
So aside from being hot,
I mean, we had a busy weekend.
It's been crazy.
You had a yard sale.
We had an epic yard sale.
Yeah.
Up in Big Bear.
And then there was fires in Big Bear.
And
then we went to the Shrine Show. Well, I went to a big, cool Hollywood party.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. Brian Walton's birthday. Happy birthday, Brian. and he just wanted to go all out. He knew somebody like that lived at this artist collective in like this mansion in the hills.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
They have a stage instead of a living room. It's like a little mini venue. There's like these like couches in the back, then there's like a dance floor, like an open floor area, and then like a stage and a sound booth and like a pro lighting system. And he had the band was called the Podunk Poets.
Yeah, that little clip you showed me was cool.
They were really freaking good, and it was like, and they play a lot of like kind of like country, but like Johnny Cash,
right,
classic country, and it was really, really good. They play a lot of cool covers, and then the original song is really good.
That's cool.
And it was like a guy and a girl singer, and they just had a lot of really good crowd interaction. Nice. They would like get the people dancing because they would go out and dance and get other people dancing, and everybody was dancing, and it was fun. And then like there was just really good food, and like the whole outdoor, like it wasn't your typical like fancy Hollywood Hills backyard. It was like super naturey. Like there was a lot of succulents.
Ooh, nice.
And like big trees. It was just like I was shocked that there was not a hammock back there. But there was like a lot of like pillows and like outdoor couches, and there was like a little trail, like because you could go like if you just out the back, they were like at the top of the big canyon,
right?
And you could just look down the canyon, and like I saw Kevin Smith's like deck like way down. I'm like, I think Kevin's down there, and I was like, there it is, and I don't think he was home, but so
you can call down to him,
yeah, but there was like a little trail you could go down like a little bit down the canyon that was still on their property. That's and there was like a little meditation hut. It looked like a chicken coop, but it was a meditation hut. And then they had like all kinds of gardens and stuff, like
all in their property.
Yeah, like vegetable gardens.
So is this like the next level of like the Lucinda House, like art type?
Yeah. Thing? Well, so I found out it's like it's like a YouTube executive, like bought it, and he like set up this artist collective where he encourages like some musicians, artists, filmmakers. They can come and like live there and then work on stuff. That's and cool. They put on shows and do like just work on their artwork and all that stuff. And then to make money, they rent it out for parties and for concerts.
Nice.
And
we got to find out how much like that was so
dude,
cool
it's probably so much money.
What if we recorded Radio BrendoMan live there?
Oh, dude, it would be perfect. Like it was because it was like this room was seriously like about the size of Smart Castle.
Network Fest there.
That would be so nuts.
We should look into it.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
I don't. I'd have to find out from Brian like what the deal is with that, because it was crazy.
That's cool.
But I mean, Brian could, and I know Brian's not super rich. Like I know he did set up like a little fund, like. And he's like, in lieu of gifts, if you want to pitch in to pay for the party, so that might have helped them.
That's good.
But
if we all got together, like all the various venue shows and collaborated,
I don't know. I'll find out, because it would be because this place is nuts. I mean, you have to deal with like the whole Hollywood Hills parking, like it's kind of a crapshoot if you'll be able to get street parking up there. Yeah. I did it because it seemed like it was a little bit out of the way enough where it wasn't like in one of the super congested streets.
Right.
It's far enough away from the Hollywood Bowl where you're not dealing with all that junk, like as opposed to another one of our friends' houses where you're like right there by the Hollywood Bowl, and like as soon as you leave, you're like in the Hollywood Bowl traffic.
Right. We just had to drive elsewhere.
Yeah. So, but it was kind of crazy when I was driving in there. Because you know how it is up there. Like, well, first it was like on the Mulholland side, and like Mulholland Drive is scary. Like it's because like people die like on that road, but it's only part. It's not all, because I went up one time. I went like way up Mulholland, like
get lost.
And I got lost up there, and like it was crazy. But so this time it was only a little bit off Mulholland, and then we went off, and like I started going through the hills, and apparently I didn't even know this was there, but. Like Star Tours, like not Star Tours, but like the buses.
Right.
They have like a little piece of land there that they use to like load and unload people.
So they can walk around.
And then they walk around. So and then there's like freaking tourists just walking in the road. And it's like, hello, this is a road with like cars. And so I almost hit a tourist. getting on like a Star Tours thing. Going to Hoff's house. Yeah, going to Hoff.
Yeah,
Hoff and Hoff. I thought you said Hoff. So okay. But
Indoor.
and then a little bit further up the road there was another party that I think there was getting out. So there was like, and I think they had like a valet parking thing going on.
Right.
Because then like one of the valets tried to go to my car and I'm like, I'm just going down this street. Like my friend's house is up there. And then like another person tried to go around me because they thought I was valeting my car and then almost crashed into me. And I'm like, this is so dangerous. Like, there's got to be accidents up there just all the time. And then meanwhile, there's like 30 dudes in like swimsuits waiting for their cars and just hurting around everywhere. And then these are, and again, this is like Hollywood. I mean, if you played Grand Theft Auto 5, you know what I'm talking. Because like you've been in, even if you haven't lived there, you've been there, and that's exactly. It's like looks exactly like that.
I don't know. Is this selling people on wanting to come to a show here or not? That might be worse.
But I mean, but up where the house is, there's way more park. Because I was worried when I saw all that. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to park anywhere up here. I mean, they did put on the invite like you should Uber or Lyft or because you could even park like at the zoo parking lot or somewhere, and it would seriously be like a $3 Uber from there. Because like the zoo parking lot is free,
right?
And so like you could do that because I actually when I came home, because this is the other problem, there's no cell reception up there, and so when that might have been the problem. But I guess you could use Wi-Fi wherever you're at, and then but what did happen was I'm gonna go to leave because we had to leave Ukaipa at 6 a.m. the next morning.
Still tired from that.
I am still tired from that. And so we're not even in the hangout here. People could be saying stuff. Nope, nobody's saying things.
Steven's there.
Steven's there. Hello, Steven.
So we leave at 6.
So I left the party. Like, I mean, the party was only going to 11 because they have like if you're gonna have a band, like it's very strict.
Right.
So the band played from like 8 to 11. So I left around 10:30. Because I had to stay till because Brian sang Folsom Prison Blues with the band. It was awesome, so I had to stay till that. And then I like said goodbye to everybody because there was some other friends that were there, and I met a lot of cool people, and so that was cool. But anyway, so 6 o'clock, so we had to get up at 6, so I left early, and then I'm like, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure how, because it's a freaking maze up there, man. And like there's so many like dead end streets, and like the streets are so narrow that you don't like if you go up a dead end, you don't want to have to turn around. You don't want, and like people are very surly because it's like it is ridiculously rich people, and they can sniff outsiders a mile away. I've like gotten yelled at like up there. Like it's weird being up there.
Your car, they're like,
and you're just like, yeah, that's how I feel every time I've driven up there. And so I get on my phone to try and like do the navigate, and it's nothing. Like just like you're on your own, buddy. So I'm like, I guess I'm at the top of the hill, so I'll just keep going down. But it turns out if you want to go back the back way to Mulholland, there's a certain point where you go up instead of down. But I missed that, so I went all the way down. And then I ended up on like Franklin Avenue, like off of Sunset, and I drove by Kevin's house. As soon as I saw Kevin's house, I'm like, oh crap! Like I'm at the bottom. I went because then I have to go back up to get back to where, and then the Hollywood Bowl was just getting out. And I swear to you, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but when they have the buses that go to the zoo parking lot and other place, they seriously block off 2 lanes of traffic on the middle of like Franklin on like Cahuenga right there for the buses. So like there's like 1 lane. It took me forever, and I'm like all because like went the other way. Well, also I didn't remember because you know how it is like when we're on navigation. If it's a new place, like I'm not paying attention to where it's taking me.
My navigation is like atrophied in my brain. I don't know how to get anywhere anymore.
Like I feel like that's really bad. Like we're all screwed.
Like I'm be driving and I'm asking Janelle like, how do we get there? And she's like, we go here all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but I thought you were gonna navigate us. It doesn't work anymore. It's broken.
Yeah.
That's why I fought it till the bitter end. I'm like, I don't need GPS. Now
I still have a really good internal GPS. I mean, I've told this before, but like I went the whole WrestleMania weekend with like just my old iPhone that like barely worked, and Benson was like, I have no idea how you're doing this right now, but you're doing a great job like figuring out where we are.
If
and
he like keeled over, he would never have been able to
oh
take
dude,
it home.
he's like, I have no idea where we are right now. I don't know how we got here. Somehow, because I would seriously like, I would look it up before we went because I cannot look at my phone because I will throw up. And so I would look at it, but then half the time on the iPhone 3G, it'll put you, like, the GPS is not accurate. This is like an old iPhone. It was so inaccurate, like it was almost worthless. So I just had to figure it out, you know? Like, I'm like, okay.
We used to do.
Yeah, and like... And
half of our exploits in college would have been solved if we had. I mean, imagine if we had like parked that our whole like initial parking adventure. Like that would have happened. No. Yeah, we probably would have gotten an Uber from over there, and then we would have. Yeah, all these things. We're like a sitcom back then.
Yeah. Like half of sitcom plots would not are just solved.
How do they even write sitcoms anymore?
I don't. It's got to be hard.
It's got to be like set in the past, I guess.
Yeah. Because a lot of sitcoms, like think about how many Seinfelds.
Seinfeld would be practically useless, though. I mean, every single one.
Some of the best episodes, lot, the parking garage,
like the Chinese restaurant.
So many things would have been solved by the movie. Episode. All the times they go to the movies. Yep. Like just if all of them had cell phones.
Getting a ride back, like from when they're stuck on Staten Island or whatever.
There's so many things that would not work today. Yeah. I mean, well, like I remember the first time I really thought about it was when we had Keith Coogan on Begged and Boarded, and he's like, oh, like the movies that I'm in wouldn't exist, like, because you think about like don't tell mom the babysitter's dead, or like just like the internet, because they would have like looked up her name and been like, oh, this is a 17-year-old girl, like just things like that, like or like the internet. So and then cell phones, like Adventures in Babysitting. Yep. None of that would have happened because they had to go save their friend.
Stuck in the phone booth, which doesn't even exist anymore.
Although that's still get out of my house.
I mean. Amazing,
but anyway, so he's like, I wouldn't even have a career, was it like today? Yeah, the tow truck thing.
That whole incident.
So it's stuff like that, like that we take for granted. Yeah. Whole plots of movies just thrown out the window.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
He would have just, hey guys, I'm up here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did kind of call the cops, but if it was like a dude on a cell phone.
Yeah, but if he just had the cell phone.
And he could like, if he's like, I'm periscoping.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm periscoping. There's the explosions. There's Hans Gruber over there.
And, I mean, everything. I mean, there's still a plot there, but it would be greatly diminished.
Yeah.
So.
That's why if you have an action movie now, it has to take place in, like, 1978.
Right.
Before, I would even go like, personal computers.
Yeah. Because once you get into hacking, then you got some cheesy territory, too.
Well, then it's stupid.
There's a whole era of movies that are just kind of useless at this point.
Nonsense.
I'm hacking the mainframe. So. Speaking of useless, we had a yard sale on Saturday up in Big Bear.
Yeah,
and usually they're fantastic up there.
Was it because it was hot?
Maybe it was hot. I don't know. We had
people just weren't feeling. Nobody came to your yard sale.
I mean, we probably had maybe 4 or 5, now probably 6 groups the whole day.
But like, aren't your family like basically like Big Bear celebrities?
Yes. Well, I don't get it. I'm telling you, the last time we did one up there, like a couple years ago. There were hundreds of people that came by, constant flow of people all day long. It made a ton of money.
Are yard sales over in Big Bear?
There might be, because they have all their online things, like the Big Bear for Sale group on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So people post the stuff on there, and then
nobody's got
stuff. It's like a constantly going yard sale. So they don't need yard sales anymore. I don't know. Because literally,
you had a lot of people. I mean, you did Bang Up and Ukaipa.
Yeah, Ukaipa did great. So
maybe we're not as. So you're saying Ukaipa's not as advanced as
well,
Big
either
Bear?
that or we're not as isolated because people come from around.
I guess because people come
Big
from
Bear,
around.
you're either there,
and everybody there is on the Facebook group,
right?
So it's that small of a town.
But then if you're a tourist, I'm one of the few people that goes to yard sales on vacation.
My mom does.
So yeah, that's not typical though.
No.
So my grand total for the day was $7.45.
Yeah.
So it was enough to get the kids some ice cream with the ice cream truck when it came.
You finally got your ice cream truck. We finally
found one. We were so excited when it started coming down. I was like, "Oh, stop the truck! I'm gonna get the kids."
What'd they get?
Luke got a Spider-Man one with gumball eyes, and Audrey got a Tweety Bird one because she wanted gumball eyes too, but they didn't have any stuff with gumball eyes that she liked too much. So she liked Tweety Bird. She was happy with that.
Good.
But my dad's like, "Are you serious?" why do you want to get ice cream from an ice cream truck? It's overpriced. And I'm like, it's a thing. Like, I've been promising it.
Well, think about when you were a kid.
I know. And I probably got it from like 2 or 3 times my entire childhood. Because, I mean, it's expensive. You can get a pack of 20 things like that at the grocery store for a couple bucks. But
yeah.
It was $2.50
I was shocked. Because, like, again, I'm like, ice cream truck. And then I go in the store and I see how cheap popsicles are. And I'm like, cheap. Dude. Ice Cream Man are making money.
Yeah,
because think about, like, okay,
Super Pops
even,
or whatever.
Well, even like you buy a big stick. I think big sticks were like a quarter. Even that is still a huge profit margin because a box of big sticks where you get like 18 of them is like $2.
Yeah.
So even at a quarter.
Well, they're not a quarter now.
Yeah.
I think the big sticks he had were $2.
Jeez.
Yeah.
They were a quarter.
Yeah.
I remember they were the cheapest thing, and they were a quarter.
Maybe like $1.50, but nothing was under $1.50 on this whole board. So
there was nothing over $1.50.
Yeah, well, times have changed. It was $2.50 each.
Well, I guess you're dealing with gas. People are like, there's a lot of stigma against ice cream men these days.
Well, and to be fair, like when we got up close, it kind of fulfilled all of the bad. It's a little seedy looking. Just a dude in there puts out a cigarette before, hey kids, what do you guys want? I mean, I understand the thought process there.
That's another one of those things where I'm like, how do people end up in the Ice Cream Man?
I don't know.
Do people be like, I want to be an Ice Cream Man? Is it just like an entrepreneurial thing? But like, that just seems like a lot of like sitting in a hot truck.
Plus, like, it's so irregular. Like, who knows if you're gonna? I don't know. I mean, they're just driving around. What if they don't drive past anyone who wants ice cream?
Just seems a lot of work. And as Andrew says, they get territorial too. Yeah. Ice Cream Man fights, rumbles.
On my block. Well, anyway, it was fun. It's I'm not planning on doing it a lot, but it was cool to get to do that with the kids that one time. So
cool.
So the yard sale paid for that.
It's good.
That's about it.
Then we went to the Shrine Show.
Then we did the Shrine Show with Andrew, who's in the chat here, and Derek. And we had various levels of success.
Derek and Andrew were the clear winners.
Derek
cleaned up. Derek made like $100 before the show even
we were
officially
still setting our stuff up.
Open.
He was already
Derek like we barely had our stuff, and Derek's like, I just made $60.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dang.
So, Andrew said his total was just under 150.
Yeah.
Derek's I think was like right around 160.
I
made $78.
I sold one thing for $10. And then the kid asked for his money back.
Yeah, it came back like 40 minutes later.
Because it didn't have the instructions. And this was, again, as a kid. And I was like, hey, good karma. I'm good sales karma. Yeah. I'm giving this kid his money back. Did not sell a single thing. All my stuff was correctly priced, reasonably priced.
You got one offer on something that was like
super low ball. Where I'm like, if you wanted to buy one of these right now on Amazon, new, it would be $89. I can show it to you. and what did she? Because y'all wasn't even there. That's the other thing.
Well, she was nice.
Yeah,
but
she wanted to pay
$20.
And I'm like, absolutely not, because it's not new, but it's never been displayed, and even those go for like $50.
Yeah.
So I'm 35. I'm being perfectly reasonable, and I was willing to go down to $25.
It was just like in Pawn Stars. We're just too far apart here. I don't think we're gonna make a deal today.
Yeah. So the old man thing.
It was weird, like because people.
Well, also there was a huge amount of people there, but they were all there to see Haley Atwell, and then they all left.
We were kind of in a funky corner. We got quite a bit of traffic.
Yeah, I just think
Andrew's
overall,
pins brought everybody over.
I don't know. It seemed like the overall vibe of the show was people weren't doing so hot.
Yeah, talking to a couple other vendors, it sounded.
And then in the elevator after, and in the parking lot.
Yeah. I mean, to me,
it was fine. I mean,
yeah,
but these shows are a crapshoot. There's been times where I've brought junk and sold all of it.
Right.
And then there's been times where
This was my lowest. I can't remember exact, but I know that I never made under $100 before.
Yeah.
So.
And you've made well over.
I've done a couple $100 before another time. So. But whatever. I mean, at least for me, I made a little money. Yeah, but it was fun. But we had fun.
And we got some free, people gave us free stuff.
You came home with more stuff than you came.
Yeah, because this one dude gave us a lantern, and this other dude gave us, these Disney toys.
Yeah, little vinylmation things.
Yeah, they were cool.
So
I came back with more.
More you came than you came with.
Which I just wanted to go have fun with my bros, and
I got rid of a few, larger items, but mostly I sold, comics and little things, and
I also realized having 4 people at the table is a lot different than having me, you, and Derek, but just your stuff.
Yeah, because we
were
like behind a wall of stuff.
Yeah.
There's if you want to see a funny picture, look at Brendan's Facebook, because you can see us.
I also made a Periscope.
Oh, that Periscope too. That's true.
So some people that are listening to this were on. They were
That's
in.
Right.
They watched the Periscope.
But it was a lot of fun. We had a good time hanging out and watching Andrew work his magic with the pins. I mean,
I need to get some Disney
seriously,
pins.
that was like the hot item.
People would come to our booth to look at it, and then they'd buy other stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
in fact, your friend who came
yeah.
to the table didn't buy anything from you.
Nothing
but they
from
bought
me.
Something from Andrew.
Jerry's sister. I don't want to call her out or anything.
No, they were very nice.
They were super
but
cool.
But
I didn't have I guess because the pins, they're tiny. Yeah. They're like cheap.
Yeah, you had like a $5 rack.
Yeah.
And I think he did a couple that were a little larger dollars too, but like most of the ones he sold were on that $5 board. So
yeah.
Anyway,
and I didn't have it. The cheapest thing I had was $10.
Yeah.
And it wasn't I'm not gonna be like, Jenny, you got to buy my World of Warcraft cards
right.
to be a good friend.
So it required a little bigger investment.
I know Jenny's a huge Disney.
Yeah.
So of course.
My big coup was I actually got $20 for a comic, a single comic.
Yeah. Sold that cable.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I got robbed and he could have made a lot of money, but I've had that out at 2 other shows before. And
you'd have to go get it graded, and then what if the grade? That's my thing. Is I've heard horror stories where it ends up getting graded at lower than you think, and then you're locked in.
Yeah.
Because once that's graded, you don't want to I mean, I guess you could take it out, but then then you just wasted a whole bunch of money getting, because the grading's not cheap, but that's what can make a $20 book into a $200 book.
But here's how I know that it's just sort of a luck of the draw. And if we were to go back, you could bring the same stuff with money, because the last time I had my price sheet from the last time I did it, and I had that same book out, and I started at 15 and went down to 10 by the end of the day and got no offers. This time, first dude came up, I asked 20 and he paid for it right there.
Yeah.
So
and
I got
the vibe that he might have gone higher.
Yeah, he was pretty stoked, I think, that I was going that. And to me, I just wanted it gone.
Or it could have just been a huge big show.
It could have been, because he did a whole white glove, looking at the corners and examining it and stuff, and I'm like, okay.
And we saw our old friend,
crazy
trader guy walk
you were
by.
Talking about him, and then he came up around the corner. We're like,
and I saw he was eyeballing us, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, no, keep moving. He had some, as Andrew pointed out, he had some weird sound recorder device. He was still doing his walking around with one thing, probably trying to get a trade going, gosh. And that guy, man. He's still around, lurking around.
Yep, still there, doing his thing.
Popeye didn't have the book, though.
No, he got rid of the book. The guy I've been trying to get a book from for all these years, and he never would go down on his price.
Maybe he sold it.
Maybe. I doubt it. He probably just threw it away. It was a book with a cover, the spine was ripped.
Maybe he gave somebody the $10. I probably should finally...
Yeah, I'm going to let it go.
Let it go. But not to you.
Not to me. That's all right. I didn't need it. It was more just the principle of the thing. Really, you're not going to negotiate at all? I set all my prices so that I can negotiate.
I set most of them. I give a little bit of window, but on the Ghostbusters stuff, it's a very hot market, I found out. Yeah. So I can be pretty firm on that, because I'm pretty sure I could turn those around. Well, I haven't tried yet.
If you had one dude that came by that's been looking for those, you could have, you know what I mean? You just have to hit the right person. And again, 90% of the people who came to that convention were there to pay $45. We were doing the math in our head about, because Haley Atwell was there for 2 hours, and I'm pretty sure she cleared 10. We were kind of doing the math in our head. I walked the line, kind of figured out how many people were in that line, and I was doing I was being very on the underestimating side, because I'm pretty sure there was way over 200 people in that line. It was a big
and
line.
She cleared it out. And because she was going, man, I watched her for a little bit, and
they were moving it through.
They were moving it through, but she was talking to people, and
people that we talked to were very pleased.
Yeah, everybody was really happy with their experience.
$45.
$45. So we figured she made $10,000 in 2 hours.
Yeah,
that's amazing and crazy. I forgot who.
I made $78 in the whole day.
Did you see Josh Forbes took a picture of Nathan Fillion's sign?
No.
Hundo.
What?
100 for an autograph, 100 for a picture. You know that those people were getting an autograph and a picture.
Oh my god.
$200.
Dude.
the money in the bank. And Nathan Fillion can do that for the rest of his life.
At some point, though, like, I don't know, I would just want to, like, be cool. If I was in that position.
Like Judah Friedlander, I always say that, but just, like, remember that? Like, because we're like, he's just like, hey, and he was signing and taking a picture for free, like, because I'm like, do you charge? He's like, no, I don't know, like,
charge.
Him and Hodor. Hodor doesn't charge either.
I mean, but it's not.
And I'm like, they both could.
They could, but I guess you can get it. People, and again, it's not like people were mad. People were very pleased with their experience. So.
But that's also. But I think the reason why a lot of them do it is because you can't say free Nathan Fillion signing.
True.
I would start a freaking riot zone, and that's a big part of it. I think for current things is they just out of necessity.
Right.
You can't have a free. Like all of Los Angeles, there would have been thousands of people. It would have been like, because I mean, I always bring it back to this: Cinco de Mayo, Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh yeah,
when they charged a nickel,
right.
And there was a freaking riot.
Yeah.
Within an hour.
There has to be some barrier for entry.
You have to have something, or there's trouble. But then we also have there's also the paradox of it's not something. If valuable enough, if you go free, nobody will come.
Right.
But if you charge $1, then people feel like, oh, there's got to be. It's like that's a deal.
Paying to get
but if it's like because if it's something people never heard of and you charge for free, people know it's worthless.
Right.
They're like they're not charging. I don't know what this is. Why would I?
Yeah, because we've done free shows and nobody came.
But if it's people they haven't heard of, but you charge $1, like, well, I've never heard of them, but it's only $1.
I guess I'll go. It is.
It is.
But
we have observed that in action.
Yeah. Once you assign value to it, other people will assume there's value to it. Doesn't mean you can never do a free show, but it's got to be in the right context.
Because then you got to be careful, because you hear about these crazy stories where like big artists do free shows and riots happen and bad things happen. I've also heard of people doing free shows, and like I remember Foo Fighters did a free show at the freaking. It was right up the street from Smodcastle, and we actually got some overflow. Yeah. Like once they filled up, people like went down, like were walking around, they're like, "Oh,
guess I'll go here."
Yeah, so that was kind of crazy. But all right, we got a bunch of reader mail, and then we got to get through this show because I gotta go to work.
Let's do it. Well, let's do the mail.
All right, Mario, 11/22/63. How would you prevent Kennedy's assassination? If you could.
So if I was, am I like? Do I have superpowers? Do I know anything, or
You're just a
with
dude.
My knowledge of what happened.
You okay? Like somebody posed it this way. I remember one time is you wake up. And you have all the knowledge that you have right now, but you're just a dude it's like, let's say it's November 21st, 1963. You wake up in Dallas, Texas. What do you do?
Okay, because here's the problem is, like, let's say, okay, well, I would just contact the Secret Service or whatever, but they're going to be like, how do you know there's going to be an assassination? And then you're, like, on the spotlight. So can you do an anonymous, like, phone call?
Yeah, but then does that just mean somewhere else down the line? Like, how do you also? Well, then also, how do you stop? Like, you'd somehow have to implicate Oswald, which, by the way, he was already on the watch. Like, he was already. So I think if you had just called anonymously and given the specifics, like, if you could say, like, if you knew, like, where, for instance, like, you could give his exact whereabouts, or like something. And then, like, anonymously, that might work. But, like, let's say you arrive there. First of all, like, you'd have to figure out how to call somebody in 1963. Plus, you don't have any money. Let's say you just wake up. You don't have any money. How are you going to, like, what are you going to do?
Well, and like...
I guess you could call 911.
Was that even a thing then?
I guess you could call the operator. Yeah, because that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
On the rotary. You just rotary 0. Or, would you try to stop Oswald yourself?
No way. I'd be way too scared. He's got a gun.
It's like a rifle, though.
Yeah, like, but still.
He wouldn't be able, like, let's say you just were able to sneak. You knew where he's going to be. You wouldn't sneak up on him with, like, a brick, just go bam.
I'm scared to walk down the street after a concert at night. I wouldn't be, like, chasing after people.
What if you, like, okay, here's what I would do. Okay, let's say the phone thing, for whatever reason, doesn't work.
Okay.
I would, because we know, he is referencing that Stephen King novel, Andrew, so because we were talking about it.
Okay, yeah.
So, but like if it was you, but that's what he's asking.
Right. What would we do?
Yeah, I think he's asking us how would we do that. So, like maybe one of the things that I would do, like let's say the phone thing does not work.
Okay.
and like you have to somehow. So now it's like that morning.
Okay.
And like so you get there, and what I would probably do is, since you know where he's gonna be, you could easily just be like, there is somebody up there, and then by then you could probably see him.
That's what happened though. The person on the grassy knoll was the person that time traveled and said, "Look up there," and it was too late. And then
but what if you know? What if you do it? Because he was there for a while. What if he was there for like? What if
you got caught in traffic and you showed up just too late? That's what happened.
Well,
we're in an endless time loop right now.
Now we're getting into. I don't want to. This is where I don't want to spoil the things that are happening in the book.
All right.
Like, but I would seriously. I think if you were there early enough, and because we know. Based on what, like, let's say you were even able to like do a little bit of knowing you were gonna go, knowing that like you were gonna wake up and you were gonna be there. Okay. You couldn't bring anything, you couldn't do any and so you're able to do enough research where you knew exactly his whereabouts for the entire day.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't pick a strategic point even to like knock him out or something. You wouldn't get physical. But then again, I might be spoiling the book a little bit here, but then you also have to think about what are the implications of me saving John F. Kennedy's life. And that's where, again, you're opening up butterfly effect. Like, what if you, like, because, for instance, like, oh, God, I have to stop because I'm going to end up spoiling the book. Because
okay, well, here's my one other thing to add to it then, is you have to go in there with only the knowledge you have right now. If you were, like, let's say you're in Dallas, where would you, do you know
Daily Plaza.
Daily Plaza.
I know how.
What's the name of the building? It's like the book.
The book repository.
Repository. I knew it was a book something or other.
I'd be able to get there.
That part, but you'd have to like ask for directions at least.
Yeah.
All right. What time does it happen?
That I have no idea.
So you're like sometime today.
Well, I think like if you got to Daily Plaza like in the morning, there's got to already be tons of people there. So you'd probably already be able to like I'll do at least alert people. Do something, call in something.
Well, because it just comes back to that whole, if we were time traveling, how useless we would be.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I know Daily Plaza, 11/22/63, sometime in the afternoon.
Or other.
So I could get there, or I could from somewhere else call in this. There's a guy, he's very suspicious, he has a gun in the book repository. I could even say he has this, he has a rifle, because I knew it was a rifle.
Right.
I think that would be enough.
I think so. Don't let the motorcade go through there.
And then what if you stop Oswald, and then it turns out that all the conspiracy theorists were right, and then you're like, whoa! And then you come back and you tell everybody, like, Kevin Costner was right, Oliver Stone was right, and then nobody believes you, and then you're really, and that maybe that happened to Oliver Stone.
That's exactly what happened. He was there.
He went back. He stopped Oswald. It still happened.
Yep. And we solved it.
Well, that's one of the main points of 11/22/63. Is half the book is him making sure that it is Oswald, because there is that wild card of like,
what if it's not?
What if it's not? But we're pretty sure that it is, and so you got to make sure that he is, right. And then you do, and because it was come on, like come on, like I don't know, anyways. So that's the number one.
Okay. So, yeah. Number one for Mario.
I hope you're satisfied with that.
I think so.
Right. Edward Gorey did the opening animation on a PBS show Mystery. Yes, I know that. Right. I watched it. I actually
Perot and others.
Yeah, but I mostly watched it for that intro. I loved it because it was all spooky and cool. Am I hearing this right? It's not mirrors. It's a mirror. I just say mirror.
Yeah, mirror.
Mirror.
I think I say it the same way.
Mirror.
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 But I probably say more of the MERS, mirrors.
Mirrors.
It's mirrors. Yeah, you look in the mirror.
You look in the mirror.
I mean, yes,
I'm
mirror.
Looking at the man in the mirror.
Yeah, that's not saying mirror.
In the mirror?
I don't know. Now I said it a bunch. I don't know how I say it.
Mirror.
Mirror.
All right, whatever.
Okay.
Scratch and Sniff, not just markers, had a scent. Little Scratch and Sniff stickers. Speaking of that.
True. What?
I was in CVS yesterday.
Yeah?
They still sell those!
Scratch and Sniff stickers?
Markers!
The markers?
They're sitting right at the end cap, dude.
Are you serious?
Scent markers, smell me. And I'm like, what are we teaching our children?
That's funny stuff.
That's like...
I thought those were just gone.
I assume they were too.
Wow.
They were Mr. Sketch.
Yeah.
With that dude. They still exist.
Well...
And they're still encouraging kids to huff things, because that is what you're doing.
It's a gateway
and
drug.
cool, because Oh, come on, like you never started like, oh, Elias marker, oh, rubber cement, oh, like I don't know.
I never did rubber cement, but markers smelled really good, and I didn't. I remember like finding out like, oh, that's bad. Like,
well, because what's the first thing? Even now, like I pop open like a Marks a lot, just get a big whiff.
You get like a little marker on the tip of your nose. There.
Even like with what? Because Derek handed me a Sharpie, and that's like my instinct. Top.
Yep, that's bad. They should not
I learned that in kindergarten.
They should not sell those anymore.
Why is that a thing?
I don't know.
Do your kids smell the markers?
I don't think our kids. I guess they use markers some.
They're more crayon kids.
They're crayons, color pencils. They do have like whiteboard markers though, because they have the whiteboard and they draw on the window.
Those smell awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I've not noticed that. They don't have like little black marks on their nose yet. So.
Well, if you get them those.
If they get those, they will. It's like, they do have smencils though, which are the smelly pencils, and the smins, the smelly pins. But those are
still sniffing pens.
Yeah, but it's like the wood. It's like made of wood, and there's like scent in the wood, so you like smell the wood on the pen. I don't know. Smencils. Yeah, you haven't seen smencils? Smencils and smins.
What was it? Good stuff. Some stupid. Oh, I was watching the episode of Always Sunny when Charlie invents kitten mittens. Because it's like, do you have annoying cats and they're just so loud? We put kitten mittens. That's so stupid.
Sounds like a Steve Brule one. Put mittens on your kittens. It's for health.
Dingus. All right. In reference to Hulk Hogan's restaurant, I used to clean restaurant, and as they were setting up for a New Year's Eve event, I overheard someone say that doesn't look 4-star. Maybe Bros dress attire weren't considered 4-star. This is Hulk Hogan's beach restaurant. I don't think they're going for a 4-star
okay. I didn't even remember
atmosphere.
what the story was.
It was that Hogan's Beach Club.
Right.
This is like a burger joint.
Yeah.
They're just basically saying no black people.
Yeah, at a beach. I mean, you go to the
Plus
beach in flip-flops and shorts and stuff.
And also the no bandanas thing is just insane.
Well, yeah, since that's like Mr. T having a restaurant and saying
no chains.
No chains.
Which was also on the Hulk Hogan list.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for your list this week, Mario.
There's another Mario farther down.
Oh, there's more Mario. Okay.
Yeah, more Mario. But we'll
get some others and come back.
Okay. All right. Denver writes, I sent you a message to the contact page on your site. You didn't mention on the show. I figured I'd send you another one. Well, first off, I'd like to say, Denver, I apologize. I looked through our system. It's unless WordPress ate it, like it's not there. Like I don't even see it in WordPress, so I don't know.
All right.
And I looked even in the spam bucket on WordPress. It's not there. And then I replied to Denver asking him about it, and he didn't reply to me. So maybe he's not getting my emails, and we're not getting his.
It's good to note, though, that if for some reason like you write us and we don't mention it, there's a lot of different channels of communication that could get crossed. So just write us again, hit us at a different spot, because we'll try not to ignore anyone. So.
BrendoMan@gmail.com is definitely
that's most.
But
solid.
The contact form does work.
Other people,
as far as I know,
successfully done it. But
@BrendoMan on Twitter. Facebook is weird, so I don't know about that. There's the Tumblr, ask us a question. I always get those. I always read those. So whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah.
But I got this one.
So let's do it.
The Harpo book was my purchase, and the author is going to be at a Buster Keaton festival in Iola, Kansas. I thought I might read the book and maybe have something to say. Hope I like the book.
Or not much to say because it's Harpo.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Very cool.
Check It Out, speaking of Steve Brule,
Check It Out
was also mine. Thanks to you, Brendo and Phil. With all your talk of Tim and Eric, I watched everything that was on YouTube, including Check It Out, Cooking with Tim. I don't even watch Dr. Wareheim?
What?
Like, these things are things that I don't know existed. Oh, I told you about Decker.
Yeah.
That's another one. Bedtime stories.
We both just watched.
Yes, kind of YouTube binged. I remember the wife and I, see, this is amazing. I remember the wife and I trying to watch the movie on Netflix a few years back, and I don't think we made it through. Can you imagine somebody watching Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie without watching the show?
No.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Whoa. Yeah.
Because that's a lot.
The show builds up to it.
And even then, it's like a huge...
I did, however, let Janelle watch the opening sequence with Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
Like, that part. Because that, but then from the moment that's done, you're out. You're either on board or you're done at that point.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I get to the mall, like it's like taco.
Oh gosh, and of course shrimp, like.
But then just all the other weird.
It's just so weird. Well, yeah, again,
so then he says, after viewing the shows, I now get the style of the movie.
Yeah.
So at the time you get this, I have purchased the series box set.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, you need to watch the movie again.
Yeah.
Because now you will, I guarantee.
Maybe don't make your wife watch it until you've previewed it to see if it's something she will enjoy. I don't know.
Again, you guys crack me up, and now the wife. I got her hooked on you guys, and she had to put up with my excitement and giddiness telling her of our Kickstarter goodies like Phil does.
Nice.
Well, hello, Mrs. Denver.
Welcome, Mrs. Denver. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Lots of goodies coming your way.
Yeah. Hey, I loved getting mail when I was a kid as well. I love getting it now, but it's mostly adult stuff. Ooh. Oh, not that kind of adult. Not like Phil adult stuff.
No, like Bill's retirement planning.
Like Bill's retirement planning and such. Being an adult sucks sometimes, but as a kid, I wouldn't have been able to support my favorite things like I can now. Exactly. You don't have to rely on Christmas and birthday.
Yeah.
Like, in fact, I've found that Christmas and birthdays are now totally anticlimactic. Right. It's like, if I want something, I buy it.
On Amazon, and then it comes in the mail, and I get to open it.
Any day of the week.
Yeah. Today, I finally got that.
Christmas every day.
I got the Heroica set, the big one that I found really cheap.
Nice.
It was sitting on the porch. The kids came home from school and were like, "Hey, we got a thing."
Christmas on a Monday.
It's amazing.
In August.
And I have kids, so I have an excuse. Not that you need one. All right. Well, yeah, we got.
Do you think you're gonna? What if you end up spoiling your kids when you're spoiling yourself?
Well, there's always that danger.
They're like, kids. Dad got an Amazon package. Dad got another Amazon package. When Dad gets Amazon packages, we get stuff too.
But not like I also see when I get CDs, they don't care as much or whatever. So I just have to keep ordering things they don't like too. That solves the problem.
See, I don't have that problem.
So cool. Well, thanks. Yeah, we've got some Kickstarter stuff on the way. As of this, well, by the time you're hearing this, if you haven't heard it, if you're not listening live, you'll have like the next survey step there.
All right.
We didn't hear back from everyone, but we got enough nominations to proceed.
You don't vote. You don't get to complain about anything. Right. You gotta get your voice.
So some people just just want to go along with it. But we hear from most people, so it's good.
Stephen Day writes. He's got a website.
Ooh.
I think this is new.
Well, tell everyone.
It's hansmillhouse.wordpress.com.
Oh,
it's
nice.
got Simpsons
stuff.
Home theater upgrade.
Ooh, it's like his blog?
Oh, this is like the stuff that he bought on Amazon.
Oh, nice.
Talking about games.
All right.
Talking about bands. It's got everything.
Some videos there.
Some records.
Nice.
It's cool. Talking about a lot of music and stuff. Anticipated movies. I like your website,
so check out hansmillhouse.wordpress.com.
Yes.
What does Steven say?
Steven says, "Hi, guys." Hello.
Hello.
I bought the Star Wars Steelbooks on Amazon.
Okay.
Just wanted to clarify my reasoning. I've gotten way into Steelbooks in the last year. The first one I bought was the original Evil Dead last November, and now I have 28. By the time I get these Star Wars ones, I'll have another 11. I have them on stands with the cover facing out, and they look great.
Yeah, I have people understand collecting things.
It's like it looks cool. I like at first I was like looking at those steelbooks because it was almost like the next level. Like when I was like hardcore Blu-ray collecting, I'm like maybe I should get into this. And then I looked in and like most steelbooks don't come out in America. And there's like these crazy message boards where like people buy them in bulk from like the other countries, and then they have like a pool of people, and then they distribute them, and it's just like it just was like this is a whole level of insanity that like because most of them are imports from like Canada and the UK and like all over the place, and I'm like I cannot like I took a few, I'm like
can't do it.
I can't do that.
Well, I get though. I mean like so my most recent collection thing I got off of eBay, there was this magazine called Seven Ball Magazine. I probably remember like in the late 90s, early 2000s, and each issue came with a CD. And I subscribed to it for a while, and I had most of the CDs, but I was missing, I still am missing a few, like 5 or 6 of the CDs. So I've slowly but surely been filling in those gaps, and I just found 2 of them on eBay for like for a grand total of like $8. I got 2 of them. But, I mean, they're compilations where I have most of the songs on them anyway, but it drives me nuts that on my shelf, it goes 1, 2, 3, 6,
my gosh.
blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, there's good songs on there, but I get it. I get wanting to fill that shelf there and make it look good.
All right. I know they'll eventually put out a nice Star Wars set with the original versions. Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, no, Steven. Oh, no.
Wait, listen to what he says in his parentheses. Go easy on him. He bought stuff from us.
But I'm one of the very few people who actually prefer the special editions. Please don't rage out on me, Brendo. It's scary.
You've scared him.
I'm just gonna turn the other cheek. I don't love everything about them. Oh, Steven. Are you trolling right now, Steven?
No, he bought the stuff.
What if buying it was part of the
Hey, if people want to troll us and help us out with money, that's cool.
But there are more. I can't even say these words.
No, you have to read it. You're the one that reads the letters.
But there are more changes I prefer than ones I don't. I'm about to throw up in my mouth right now. And I didn't have the movies on Blu-ray anymore. Steven, if I made a Blu-ray of myself taking a dump, like, I don't need to own the Blu-ray to know that it's me taking a dump. Like, I'd rather not have a Blu-ray at all than have that Blu-ray. But hey, thank you for purchasing through our Amazon link.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for all the free entertainment, guys. You're welcome, Steven, and I'm going to stop. I'm just going to keep scrolling down. Craig from the Res.
Oh, yes, we got our pen pals.
Pen pal time.
Pen pal time here on the reader mail here.
Do what now? Question mark. Okay, Mark Bolton. We need some other pen pals.
Yeah, get some others in here.
Matthew should be somebody's pen pal.
Seems like right up his alley here.
My favorite food is currently lamb kofta kebab with basmati rice.
That sounds tasty.
My favorite candy right now, if it counts, is peanut butter-filled pretzels with milk chocolate chips. Candy is Mike and Ike's, maybe.
Mm.
Do you see they have Minion Mike and Ike's?
Yes, yeah. Perfectly shaped, makes sense.
Yes. It's a very... I love that, like, all the... Like, somebody at, like, the merchandising, like, what foods look like Minions?
Kind of like, yeah.
Twinkies?
Yeah, yep. We got Minions Twinkies for the kids.
Twinkies, Mike and Ike's, and then, like, applesauce.
Yeah.
And the juice boxes.
Yeah.
Kind of
a couple random things.
Yeah. And McDonald's.
Yeah.
And so many other things. Minions. Seems like Minions are everywhere. That's good.
It's good. All right, back to Craig from the Red.
What is your favorite... Oh, here's Craig's questions for Mark. So here you go, Mark. Pay attention. What is your favorite color? Do you have any dogs?
This is good. This is
all
good
right.
stuff.
Stay tuned for next week. Next time, where we find out what Mark Bolton's favorite color and whether or not he has dogs. Stay tuned.
I'm going to add in there, you should tell us what kind and what their names are if you do.
Of the colors?
No, the dogs.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Puce, chartreuse.
On the kofta tip, so he's talking about his kebabs.
Oh, yeah.
If you do go to LA Podfest, which I think we're going, but I haven't heard back about the volunteer thing, but I still might go anyways. I don't know. I have a recommendation. On the other side of the Beverly Center from the Sofitel, which is where the thing is, is a mini mall, which I think I've been in this mini mall, with some food options for pretty cheap. Beverly Falafel, which I'm pretty sure I've been to this place, is the place to go. Under $10 for lentil soup, then a plate of cucumber, tomato, lettuce salad, and a quarter hot hummus in a quarter, and basmati rice with your protein of choice on top. With a grilled pita. Honestly, I could barely eat half. You do get a ton of food at those places.
Yeah. Making me hungry. I love that stuff.
Mario writes. One more last Mario.
Second one.
Lapping around.
All right. It's good.
1 second, Brendo says, enough vacation teasing. The next he's yelling to Phil about Brax being delayed. Backed up how? That's not vacation teasing. That's just general Phil unproductive. unproductivity teasing.
All right.
So that's nothing. Those are two separate.
Because I'm back from vacation and I still.
And then he tries to say can't have it both ways. I'm. First of all, you don't know our dynamic here.
Brendan doesn't mean no matter what.
And second of all, that's just general Phil prodding. That's regular, on the reg. What's going on with Brax, Phil?
Slow.
Mister, I have so much time on my hands now, and
well, see, now that we're done with the.
I'm tired. It's always something with you. Always something.
It took a lot of time to get prepared for the convention. I had to get all the stuff out and price it, and that was most of my week last week.
I'm shaking my head right now. You know how I priced all my stuff, and it only took me a couple.
Yeah, but I had like 10 times what you had.
Whatever. You have you should always know how much your stuff is.
Well, I got to keep up to date on it.
Well. And then he says, Jimmy Fallon ripped off my vacation from what? When talking about Kardashians. Keep the cookies cool. Well, you better trademark that then, Mario, and you can. Good luck going after Jimmy Fallon. Let us know how that goes.
No, I just think that's, he should be honored.
Yeah.
Plus, the Kardashians and I have that in common, I guess. That's something. I'm like a Kardashian.
Yeah, what are they on vacation from?
See, that's the point. That's his point.
Vacation from showing up at places? Because that's so hard.
I think Mario's got a point there.
They deserve it way more than you deserve it.
So that's good.
Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure they just get paid to show up places.
Yeah. They're famous for being famous, basically.
Then that way, because then you're always, you go vacation somewhere and you're still getting paid to do stuff. It's like you are getting paid to be on vacation all the time.
Yeah.
Although they do have OJ blood money.
They've got all kinds of questionable things going on there.
Do you think? I don't know. Okay, I'm Kim Kardashian. I mean, I'm just trying to think about this from an outside, just from an objective. Forget about everything.
Okay.
You are Kim Kardashian. Your dad is a lawyer.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Your dad's a lawyer. He's a very wealthy lawyer. Oh, you didn't know all this? Here's.
Why would I have paid attention?
Okay, well, anyway, I mean, I knew this.
Okay.
But, so your dad's a lawyer.
Okay.
You live in Glendale. You're very wealthy because your dad is a lawyer. So that's all you know.
Right.
Your dad represents O.J. Simpson.
Oh, really?
You didn't know this?
Why would I have known any of that?
I don't know, following the O.J. So her dad represents. So your dad, I'm talking about you, Kim Kardashian.
Right. Me, Kim Kardashian.
Who you're going to prep school. You're being the typical rich, but that's not your fault that your dad's rich.
It's not my fault I'm rich. Yeah.
And so your dad then represents O.J. Simpson.
Okay.
Gets him off.
Gets a lot of money in the process.
Gets a ton of money from O.J. Simpson. Blood money from a. Because can we all just say he killed her, and that dude.
Seems like it.
He was later found guilty in civil court of the same crime.
Which I still don't understand how that's not. I don't get that.
They can't go back and be like,
psych, too late.
Well, anyways.
Took the hand off the checker.
So your dad defended a murderer, got him off. But you're still pretty young when all that happens.
Sure.
Very, very, very young. Because I don't know how old she is, but she's younger than us. Yeah. And we were in high school when that happened. So let's just say she was probably in elementary school.
Okay.
Maybe 6th grade.
Okay.
5th grade. You're a 5th grader. You don't know what's going on in the world. Your dad works hard. He's gone a lot. Your mom's a nice lady. She's like a rich lady.
Okay.
And you live in your dad, and then people are giving your dad a hard time on the street maybe. And then your dad dies because he was old. He dies of old age.
I didn't know any of this.
And then your mom, who is wealthy, marries Bruce Jenner, the mile record.
The Olympian.
Yes.
I knew that.
And you got all your money. You got the blood money. You got Olympian money. Dad, and you're living your life.
Okay.
And then fast forward to 5 years later, and you're making a sex tape with your famous boyfriend. And then your whole life changes.
Yeah.
But my question, so at that point, yes, then she's horrible. Then you're horrible. Once you decide to ride that train, I think you're horrible. But before that, at some point she came to the realization, maybe in high school, she's maybe after her dad died, where she's and she finds out about, you find out about O.J. Simpson.
Right.
you find out like, oh, that dude killed his wife, and oh, he's not in jail because my dad
got him off.
That's gotta do something to your brain.
I guess.
Like, think about that. Like, if it was you.
But I also think if she grew up in that environment all along, I mean, that's probably not the first, like, sleazy lawsuit that the guy took care of, right?
Yeah, but OJ.
I'm just saying.
You helped a man get away with murder.
But that's kind of what those, like, defense lawyers do.
That is what defense lawyers do. But, like, you're not, but as a kid, but as like, I still, but again, like, as a kid, like, you don't think about it. But then at some point in your life, as a child of it, that had to come into your brain, and then you're thinking about, I have all this because of all, like, think about all the criminals.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe that might cause me to do things like film a sex tape with my famous boyfriend. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. We're talking about Kardashians. I don't have a lot of sympathy for them, but that much. That's where my sympathy is, because I'm like, that might mess you up. Also, the fact that you had your old dad, and then Bruce Jenner comes in, and then they have kids, so then there's like mixed kids. That's got to be hard. Like, and then like maybe they treat those kids differently than the other kids, than the old man's kids.
Like old money.
Who gets whose money?
Complicated.
That's a little complicated. Like, I don't know. Like, do the Jenner kids get that Kardashian money? How does that? Why are we? What is happening right now?
Again, you know way more about this than I do.
But I don't know about all the other. I don't watch that show. This is just what I've known from. Again, I'm on the peripheral as a Popsicles. Like, I gotta pay some. It's in It's in our theme song. Yeah. Kardashians and Bieber 2, Miley Cyrus.
That's right. You have to know that stuff.
So, like, I gotta at least know a little bit of that.
She's married to Kanye.
Yeah, after
I knew that.
Well, first she married a basketball player.
Okay.
And then a rapper.
All right.
And then her sister married a basketball player, and then they split up.
So now she got to find a rapper.
Maybe she will.
Lil Wayne.
Her younger sister is apparently another rapper bought her younger sister like a $250,000 Lamborghini. So they're going after rappers. Rappers beware.
I guess so.
Maybe we should be rappers.
Snoop Lion, look out. Oh no, he does like reggae now.
No, I think that's over.
Oh, he's done with that?
I think he's done with that.
That was a thing?
I think it was just a phase.
That was his like
I think he was just, you know. I mean, again, like at some point, again, let's think about that. You're Snoop Dogg. You're like a
lot of hypotheticals.
This is hypothetical. Phil, now you're Snoop Dogg.
Okay, I'm no longer.
You've made millions of dollars.
All right.
And you don't have it. You don't need money. But you're still an artist.
Gangster's Paradise. I'm done.
Nope.
No.
That's Coolio.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Phil, stop it. Stop it right now.
What? I don't know rap.
Phil, you're not Snoop Dogg anymore.
I lost it. I'm kicked out of the hypothetical situation.
Well, anyway, you have millions of dollars, and you're still an artist.
I mean, what did Snoop Dogg write?
A lot.
Well, who let the dogs out?
Nope.
Snoop Dogg. No, I actually know that was the Baja Men.
Wow.
Because my sisters have been obsessed with that since that song came out.
All right. Well, anyway, Snoop Dogg, millions of dollars. You don't need to. So, like, if you're feeling reggae, you got millions of dollars. I'm gonna make. Of course, you're gonna make it. Like, think about us. Like, if we like were at that level, like, sure, let's put out a punk rock spoken word random. Let's BrendoMan All Stars polka style. Why not? Yeah. Like, if you're at that level and like you feel it, just do whatever you want.
I get that.
And I think that's what that was.
I thought he did Gangster's Paradise all this time. Is Coolio the one with the big long twisty braids?
Yes. But Snoop Dogg had braids for a while too.
Okay. Well, the braids is what threw me off. But Coolio had them like poking out at all angles, though,
yes.
Right? Okay. All right.
But Snoop Dogg had some braids for a while.
But they weren't like poking out, were they?
No. They were not like hanging. Coolio.
All right. We know you're late '90s rappers.
Except one of those guys is still a working musician, and one of them is making cooking videos on YouTube.
Coolio makes cooking videos?
He did for a while, but that was a little while ago. Who knows what Coolio is doing now? He's also probably got tons of money.
Well, yeah, he can do cooking shows if he wants to.
Because I was trying to tell this to Derek, and again, he's too young. Gangster's Paradise was huge, right?
Yeah.
Even Phil knows. If Phil knows about a rap song, it's got to be pretty big.
But the main reason I know about it is because of Weird Al.
But still, that's how big it was.
That's how big it was, yeah.
But like that video was, Dangerous Minds was a very big movie, although I saw it and I thought it was really boring.
Which one was that?
Michelle Pfeiffer had to teach those kids.
Oh, yeah, okay. I saw that.
It was one of those teach those kids.
Yeah. I just forgot. The whole era kind of blends.
There's a lot of, like, I always joke about the South Park but Cartman was doing a stand and deliver. How do I reach these kids? But it was all the kind of same.
Yeah.
Kind of all.
Because then what was the other? Oh, there's
Lean on Me.
Lean on Me is one I was thinking of.
Stand and Deliver with Edward James Olmos. Yeah. Then there's like there's that one with Hilary Swank.
Well, yeah. They keep on
going. There's always those. How do I teach these kids?
Well, most recently was that Kevin Costner one, which actually was pretty good.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
How do I teach these kids?
All right. Well, that's the Kardashians. But you know what? If you would like to hear you talk about Kardashians on Popsicles, one good way to do it would be to listen to it on Stitcher.
Yes.
Oh.
That was great. Well, make sure you go to radiobrendo.com, click the Stitcher link. That'll take you right to our show page on Stitcher. If you haven't signed up for a free account, use the code BrendoMan when you do. Again, free account. Listen to podcasts such as Popsicles, Radio BrendoMan, all the Benview Network shows. Listen to those shows and your other podcasts. I listen to my 90210 Blaze, listen to You Made It Weird, just listen to a great episode with Keegan-Michael Key, which I was telling you about. And the newest one is with Jermaine Clement.
Ooh, nice.
And before that, he had Dan Harmon. That's where I started, was on the Dan Harmon one. Because I hadn't listened to You Made It Weird for a while. And then I'm like, oh, look at this string of guests he's got. Because Pete Holmes goes deep and talks about random stuff. And these are like, he's the closest to us. Like, he does 3-hour shows on the reg.
Right.
And so I respect the heck out of that, and he's kind of keeping us like reasonable where we can be like, well, Pete Holmes is 3 hours.
We can do it.
So we need that. He's like because he is to us for podcasting what Ryan North is to us. He's our legitimizer for our format.
Yeah.
Like I guess you could say.
5-hour shows because of him.
We can do a Sprite comic because
that's right.
of Ryan North. Speaking of Ryan North, there was a very funny Ryan North story. I'm going all over the place today. I don't know if you saw this. Well, again, you don't have Twitter.
True.
So this is the things you miss out on when you don't have Twitter,
That's
Phil.
why I have you.
Ryan North got trapped in a skate pool.
Like a pool for skateboarding? Yes, skate pool? Okay.
Because he climbed down into it to take pictures, and then once he got down there, he's like, wait, how do I get back out? So because he was walking his dog, and then he climbed down in there to take pictures, and then he's like, I can't get out of here. So he started tweeting, like, help me get out of here. And then it was like a text adventure. People were like, wait, do this, try this. People were telling him what to do, and he was doing it, and he actually ended up using his dog to help him, like,
how?
He kind of pulled him out.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Move one square north.
And he managed to get out of the skateboard pool that he was trapped in because of...
Look, you find a leash with a dog.
It's just funny because I was, like, looking at my phone, I was at work, and I'm like, and I see all these tweets from Ryan North, I'm like, what is happening right now? And so then I follow the chain, and I'm like, oh man, what's he gonna do? Because he's like, am I gonna have to call the police? Like,
hello, I'm stuck in a pool.
I'm stuck in a skate pool in Canada.
That's awesome.
I don't know, it's pretty cool. So you can listen to us talk about that and other
also
stuff
on Stitcher.
Yeah. And all the other Benview podcasts, such as Benson's Boombox, Benview on Spielberg, Comic Nerd Unite, Dinner Party Small Talk, Extra Damage, Flagons and Dragons, Friday Night Film Fights, Grissom on the Run, Matt and Brendo's Wrestling Show. I just got another inquiry today. Someone asked that we do interviews. I have somebody, and I just don't have time.
Oh, dude.
Benson doesn't have time.
Could you just like a one-on-one then?
I don't have time for that.
You could do it a little bit.
When?
Short.
When?
Tomorrow night.
No.
Thursday night.
No.
Wednesday night.
I'm tired and... No.
But who is it? Is it good?
I don't even know. Like, you didn't say yet.
What if it's huge?
I think I know what it is. It's like a lady wrestler.
What if The Rock heard about your show and wants to come on?
Yeah, and this dude on Facebook.
Yeah.
No, it's a friend of a friend.
I heard that's how he books.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, if I was The Rock, that's what I'd do. I'd look up little indie podcasts and go on their show.
No, we're on a hiatus. I don't know. Benson's super busy.
All right.
Like, I think Pick Your Path just takes up all his free time.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Pick Your Path, that's another one of the shows.
Yeah, and Midnight Marinara, Midnight Marinara just got their 1,000th YouTube subscriber.
Nice.
Dude, so yeah.
They're doing well.
Doing well. Nerd's Eye View, Pick Your Path, Picture Start, Pillage Cast, Popsicles, Shut Up Leonard, Star Wars Energy Night. I just read the whole lineup.
That's good. It's a good lineup.
You know what else is a good lineup?
Yes.
Is the web hosting packages offered at DreamHost.com.
That is indeed a good lineup.
Go to DreamHost.com if you want to start your awesome team of web hosting solutions. Use the promo code Radio BrendoMan at checkout to save $50. You'll also get an extra free domain registration, which they give you a free domain registration if you sign up for a year of hosting. So if you do a year of hosting, you get 2, or you could get whatever you want on there and save $50 off of it, and that's awesome.
I got to renew some domains. Speaking of that,
better get on that. Don't want to lose those.
I got like a month, but I was trying.
RadioBrendoMan.com forever. R.I.P.
I know.
Until we're gajillionaires.
Man, then what will we do? What will we do to celebrate when you can finally afford to buy it back?
Well, we'll be rich, right?
Well, yeah, so we can afford to do some crazy stuff.
We'll fly to wherever that person lives and smash their mailbox.
I was thinking more like bribe our favorite bands to reunite to do a concert to celebrate.
In that house. No. We'll buy whoever it is, we'll buy their house, kick them out, and then have a show there. So and then we'll have the after party will be in the Hollywood Hills house.
It's going to be in, like, Malaysia or
somewhere. We'll fly to Malaysia, we'll fly to Hollywood.
All right.
And then our house is going to be, like, we'll have a whole Popbox compound up there anyways.
Right, it'll just be going down the street.
So just going down
Probably
the street.
just do it at our own complex.
But we also, I want to like that
too.
place.
All right.
We'll own the Hollywood Hills.
That's cool. That's how much it will cost to buy back Radio BrendoMan.
Well, I think it was like $2,000 they threw out there. I'm just like, get bent.
Well, until we get that back, there is something you can still do through RadioBrendo.com, which is get a Amazon Prime promo. I don't know.
You didn't even say it right. Get an Amazon Prime free trial.
Free trial.
Get an Amazon Prime promo. Like, what the heck does that mean?
I don't know. I started.
Get a commercial
like
for Amazon Prime.
You know, sometimes I start a sentence. I don't know how it's going to end. I just see where it takes me.
Well, this will take you to a free month of Amazon Prime. See, that's how you talk, Phil.
No, that's how you say words. I get it now.
Well, Amazon Prime is really great. You get free 2-day shipping, sometimes sooner, with no minimum order size.
Yep.
You see that $5 Blu-ray, you buy that $5 Blu-ray.
Right to your door.
And bam, you also get the Kindle Owner's Lending Library. If you have a Kindle, you get the Instant Watch Library. More stuff added all the time.
I watched some stuff.
You know what they're getting in September?
What?
For all the spooky.
What?
They're getting Blair Witch 1. And if you've never seen the crappy second one.
I never have.
It's terrible. Don't watch it.
I can imagine.
That was very, very disappointing.
It kind of looked like it was going to be.
It's real bad. Like, it makes no sense.
Bad enough to be good bad?
No.
Oh.
It's just real bad. It's just real bad. Because, well, like, the original filmmakers didn't have anything to do with it.
Right.
Or, like, they had an idea and then they ended up not using it and then I don't know. Like, their names are on it, but I don't think they had anything to do with it.
Probably just got paid.
Got those guys.
Yeah.
Because people was like, what have they done? I'm like, they don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Nothing. You know how much money that.
Well, they are talking about doing a new movie, like just their own thing, and I think if they, like, those guys came up with that, they could probably come up with other cool stuff.
But cool. I mean, they made that for pennies, and it made millions of dollars.
And if they had any kind of
which I think they probably did.
Any kind.
Yeah.
Because you know, like whoever was like, oh sure, yeah, it's like it's probably like the George Lucas Star Wars deal.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Guys. We'll give you a percentage of that. Like is like.
Yep.
The actors did not have points because, like, I guess they ended up. I read an article where they each ended up clearing like it was less than $1 million each, but it was close.
Well, it was pretty good for
probably doing pretty
dudes with video cameras running around in the forest, basically.
But it does not sound like that was a fun movie to participate in.
No.
Because they kind of put them through intentionally, like messed with them, did all kinds of stuff. They took I don't know, they started feeding them less and less.
Just to make them
I don't know. It just sounded because it was like there was an anniversary article, like I think it was on the AV Club or somewhere,
right?
And like I knew most because like there was a period where I was like obsessed with Blair Witch, and like especially like once you find out like just all the viral marketing stuff and like the links and just reading about all that, like it's fascinating because again people take that for granted now, but nobody had ever done anything like that. Like you have to like again like for the younger people like. They're like, oh, Blair Witch, and like nothing, like everything you like, you know. Now it's like, oh, Blair Witch ripoff, but like there was nothing like that, unless you were like hardcore and had like seen like, because there was like I guess there's like The Last Broadcast, like was like in the like this movie called The Last Broadcast, so people were like, but like nobody, I never heard of that. No. Most people are, and then like then Cannibal Holocaust, which again at the time like that was you couldn't even get that anywhere, like. That had long been like just like a total bootleg.
This was the first that like.
This is a mainstream.
Big, yeah.
And again, with the web viral campaign, that's far as I know, the first time that ever anything like that ever.
Very cutting edge.
And it was a big deal.
You know what else is a big deal?
People thought those kids were dead.
Well, like, yeah, it looked real. But you know what else is real?
What else is real?
Helping out Radio BrendoMan by buying things on Amazon. That's real.
In fact, sorry, one real quick. Blair Witch last.
Oh, okay.
For a while,
okay.
Kid you not, because at first I didn't believe this, but somebody found the archived screenshots. Their IMDb pages listed them as dead.
Based on what it said in the movie.
Like right up till the movie came out.
How much would I bet that was part of their
so well, I think they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
But like still, you couldn't. I don't think you would even be able to do that now.
No.
There'd be but so you look them up. So again, think about 1999 internet. You type this person into Hotbot because Google didn't exist or whatever. I was using Hotbot because I was kind of
using like
Excite
or Net. What was the Net one?
Net.
I can't remember now. What was the? I don't even remember what I used to use before Google. That's how long it's been. I was gonna say it, and then I'm like, no, I don't. Alta Vista I used for a long time, but there was something in between there that I used. I cannot remember.
Wasn't there a dog one?
There's Dogpile.
Dogpile,
yeah.
I knew there was a dog one.
Gosh, that's been like people don't even remember before Google, but like there was a time when that wasn't a thing.
I remember I was into Excite for a while because they had a cool homepage.
Yeah.
Remember Customize? Well, even Google had that up till recently, and they took it away. Why did they take that away?
Why did they take away everything we love?
Like, I don't know. I guess people don't like home pages anymore. You just want to see that nice blank tab. I don't know. But so weird how much the internet changed. Well, anyways, so imagine you're like, 1999. What was it? Yeah, it was 99. Because it was summer of after my freshman year of college when that happened. Like May, April, so before school even got out.
Okay.
But I remember I saw it that summer, was when the movie came out. The viral stuff was happening because they were showing it on college campus. I remember people from Biola had gone to a screening in UCLA, and even at that screening they had. So I remember people from our dorm had gone, and they're like, "Oh, it's real." Because they presented it as 100% real, and even after the movie, they were like, "That was real," and we were just like, "What? Like what is happening?" And being like all freaked out. But again, I got on my computer on Biola, like typed in because I'm like, oh, I think you look at the credits. It's like Heather Donahue. You go to the IMDb page because again, no Wikipedia, no other sources. All IMDb, and Heather Donahue died 1996, which is when the movie was supposed to be, or whenever it was 97. And so when you see that on IMDb, you're like, what? Really? Like, and that's their only credit. So, because I remember my brother was like, look them up, see if they're an actual. And then it's like, nope, Blair Witch Project. That's the only thing they're in, and they're dead. Like, think about that. Like, I'm doing a lot of hypothetical situations.
Imagine tonight is a hypothetical episode.
The hypothetical episode. Okay.
All right.
Well, so another thing you can do,
hypothetically speaking,
but we want you to not do it hypothetically.
But imagine you're looking at the internet and you want to buy something.
Yeah.
You're thinking, I'm going to order this and have it sent to my house. Imagine for a moment, you go to our website, radiobrendo.com, you click the Amazon banner or the link, you go buy stuff like you normally would, and it helps us out, and we read it on our show.
And then you don't imagine it, you do it.
Just do it for real. But if it helps,
a lot of people did, and let's talk about what they bought.
Yes.
It's weird when you move around and there's a little burst of cool air. Like you just.
I'm fanning you.
Because it was funny. We were at the shrine. Well, I guess it was the Reef show.
Yeah.
We called it the Shrine show, and Derek's like, either the AC kicked in or someone just walked by me really quickly, and I'm like, somebody walked by really quick. I'm sorry.
Not the AC. Yeah. I'll try to talk with my hands more if that helps.
But then you're just wafting your.
Yeah, then it's just puffing my moist scent over towards you.
You said the M word.
My body is moist right now. It's hot and sweaty.
People are cringing right now because I feel like 50% of people hate that word.
I know at least 2 people, Ebony being one of them, that just despises that word. And they're here in Calamasa. There's a moist realtor. Like, why would that? I guess it's maybe their name, but still.
That's a terrible name.
That's your name. I feel bad. Sorry.
Cause plus, like that, moist is not something you want with houses.
No, yeah.
Like that's moist, like mold.
Moldy, yeah.
Rot.
Wood rot. Something. Moist.
I wonder how they do it. Oh. Just go in there. How's your business doing?
Maybe they only sell like boathouses or something.
And they're on the water. Moist.
Yeah, it's moist.
All right. Well, somebody bought Hanes men's white tagless crewneck undershirt.
Nice.
7-pack, medium size.
You never have too many undershirts.
Cam Kicks, camera lens kit for iPhone. Telephoto lens, fisheye lens, bunch of lenses.
Cool. Macro, wide angle.
And a tripod. Someone's doing some iPhone photography.
Yeah.
We got LG Stylo case for LG G Stylo. Somebody phone case.
Phone, yeah, okay.
We got Hackers 20th Anniversary Edition Blu-ray.
Speaking of hacking.
I've heard there's some good special features on the Blu-ray.
I haven't watched that in several years.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's a fun movie to watch because it's so insane.
Every once in a while, I'll like pull it out because it's great.
And then we got Rush, another copy. Somebody else bought this.
What is Rush?
It's the Ron Howard race car movie with Chris Hemsworth.
After you went on about how you didn't like Ron Howard, people were like rebelling against you.
We sold another copy.
Look what you did.
I'm starting a trend. But I talk about I've heard good things about this movie.
But it's a car racing movie, right?
But it's about cars and it's got Ron Howard directing. That's like 2 strikes. But it's got Thor.
Maybe he went back to his roots and did like good old fashioned
Splash.
Yeah, it's Splash.
With cars.
It's like Splash with cars and Thor.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Thor comes down and he realizes he wants to be a car racer, but he can't drive, and then he goes into a bathtub. Now he can drive. That's the premise of the movie, I'm pretty sure.
He goes into a bathtub?
Well, he can splash.
Oh my gosh.
Then he eats lobster.
All right,
he drives fast.
We got OXO Good Grips Angled Measuring Cup.
Nice. Someone's doing some cooking.
We got an episode. I keep forgetting what the name of this podcast is.
Someone bought an episode of a show.
Super Knockin' Boots.
Episode 19.
Episode 19. Let's get... Oh, that's the copyright. Let's Get Panda. That's the name of their label. That's cool. I like that.
All right. Someone bought an episode of another podcast. And the best part is that they gave us their referral money.
So we got a whole nickel.
Hey. It all adds up.
And then we got a Leviton 15-amp triple Q grounding adapter.
For,
Do you know what that is?
I don't know. For a plug? Like for an outlet, I mean?
It's an amp.
Oh, yeah, it's like an outlet.
Oh, it's a plug thing. Yeah. You plug it in. Oh, so like you... What does that do?
I think it's multiple. Like there's probably another outlet on the backside, see?
Okay.
So, yeah, so you just get more.
Expansion of outlet capacity.
So if you only have one outlet, you can get like 3 or 4 things.
Oh, like that guy at Comic-Con.
Yeah, yeah. Or like...
Aquaman.
Or like a Christmas Story, you know.
Yeah.
Still go too crazy with those things.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks for buying stuff, everyone. We appreciate all your help.
Yep.
And keep doing it. Keep up the good work.
Keep it up. And also be sure to check out our Facebook group. We got a lot of cool stuff on there, all kinds of things.
Gotta watch some
weird German
oh my God.
videos, other weird videos.
Me and Andrew watched it at the thing yesterday. It was great.
All kinds of stuff.
La, la, la. It's like catchy though. Woo, woo.
Also check out our subreddit. If you go to radiobrendo.com, there is links to all these. We got our Kickstarter. We already gave the little
keep an eye out. By the time you're hearing this, if you're not listening live,
I'm gonna start cranking
you'll have
them
a new the next survey or the next round of voting.
Maybe we'll try to record the thing on Friday.
That'd be good. Keep saying we're gonna do it, and then
let's just do it. Let's do it.
All right. But it's good though.
It's only gonna take like how many minutes?
Well, it's 5 minutes. Well, I think it's 5 or 6. I can't remember.
We gotta find out.
Well, I have it on the
5 minutes on each side.
Yeah, on each side.
So
might be 6 minutes on each side.
So that's 12 minutes. So it won't take that long to record. I think the trick
is going
to be how are we going to fit this
afterwards. I'll have to do a little editing and stuff, but that's okay. But also, we broke down. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to look at it yet, but I have all of the the rewards. It's all broken down. We got a good game plan. Start getting everything done.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. I want to know the story of that.
It's like his uncle or something. It's got to be
probably like his dad or something.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's exciting. We talked about the Shrine Show.
Yep.
Long Beach Comic-Con.
So next coming up, we got the Long Beach. Now that the Shrine Show is in the rear view, we got the Long Beach Comic-Con coming up September 12th and 13th. We're going to be doing a panel on the 13th.
11:30?
11:30.
It's going to be cool.
Be there.
Or be sad.
And since it's in Long Beach, we can give out candy.
That's right. We can give out stickers.
Giving out candy, giving out stickers. Crack down on us. Hey.
Till they say no.
And I'm hoping for another Rotten Tomatoes panel.
That'd be good. I don't think last time I looked, they hadn't put out the schedule yet, so I don't know.
I'm hoping they go because I want to see Phil get yelled at again.
Well, and if we're on at 11:30, there's a good chance they're not putting that up.
It might be on Saturday.
That's true.
But speaking of Saturday, the 12th, also I will be attending with Janelle. We will be attending the live show for our friends at the Blaze podcast. They'll be doing their first live show at Nerd Melt Theater with Christine Elise, also known as Emily Valentine. They'll be doing a live episode featuring Christine Elise talking about an Emily Valentine episode, the famous Emily Valentine episode called Euphoria, where Emily gives Brandon ecstasy and stuff happens.
And you get to be there to find out.
And other special guests are going to be there. There's going to be a band.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it going to be that one character that had the band? What's his name?
No, that'd be if it was Jamie Walters.
Yeah.
I would flip out. That'd be amazing.
I remember I bought all those CDs for Janelle and find them for like $1.
I met him.
Did you?
This is probably the dorkiest thing they ever did. So I found out that Jamie Walters was going to be at this car show, and I was like, I think I was a sophomore in high school, maybe a freshman. I think I was a freshman because I was still way into 90210, huge, and it must have been freshman year, and maybe sophomore year, I don't remember, but I begged my mom to take me to a car show, and she's like, car show? You don't like cars? And I'm like, but I didn't want to tell her why, so I'm like, yeah, I love cars. Can you take me to this car show? And so she takes me to the car show, and then she's like, are you going to look at the cars? I'm like, no, I'm going to go over here, and then there's Jamie Walters, and she's like, you came here for the guy from 90210? And I'm like,
Well, the only time I've ever gone to a car show was to see a band. The Calicos played at a car show one time. The only time I ever saw the Calicos play, because they're out from Texas.
Yeah.
And I went to a car show to see them.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I don't regret it, because I got a signed photo for me, and I got one from Mike, and then I think Mike was like, I don't care about this.
Why did you
and he it was, because there was on the wall in our youth room, he had some signed photos that would say to the edge.
Right.
Because the edge was our group. And so I got him to do that, and Mike had it up there for a while, but then it mysteriously disappeared.
Oh, I wonder why.
Jamie Walters, but he was so nice because a lot of people, because this was post, it turned out he was abusing Donna
in the
show, but people would go up to him in real life and just yell at him, and he didn't have a line, and because people I saw one girl went by and just yelled at him. And then I'm like, because I watched the show The Heights that he was the star on that didn't do well. That's how he ended up going on.
Isn't that the other one that had a band?
Well, yeah, because that's what happened was he had this show The Heights. It was on after 90210. It had that song How Do You Talk to an Angel, which was like a hit single. Right. I had the single, and then the show got canceled after like maybe I don't even think they made it a season.
Because that's the one that did Ben Stiller with Melrose Heights 90210.
Yes, that's the Heights part. Right. And then he was still under contract at Fox, so I think that was their backup plan. Was like if it doesn't work out, we'll just put you on 90210. And then all of a sudden Donna's got like, here's my new boyfriend Ray, who's the because I remember he didn't live in Beverly Hills. He like lived on the outskirts. His family ran a pumpkin patch / Christmas tree lot / whatever. So he was like the down home guy, like and like he's like, I never fit in with you rich people. That whole and there's always that guy in the 90210 universe. So like there's that and yeah, I went to a car show. I guess that's where we're going to. Oh, yeah, so The Blaze, Nerd Melt Theater. It's going to be at 7 p.m. on that Saturday. So after Long Beach Comic Con's over, you go head up to the Nerd Melt Theater. Go to 90210blaze.tumblr.com. There's still a few tickets left. They're only $5.
Good deal.
And it's going to be awesome. Nerd Melt Theater. Boom. And check out The Blaze because it's real good. And let's see what else is going on, Phil.
Oh well, I just had so earlier this year, and we've talked about it off and on, but I remember for Christmas last year.
People were asking you about it.
People have asked. I haven't updated in a little bit, but I did.
Because Denver said he was doing the notes,
doing notes and stuff. I did the present for Janelle at Christmas, where I would give her a note a week, a date night a month, a massage a month, and she also got to go like on a girls' night out once a month. Not that that's all she could do, but I would provide those things. So, so I did an awesome date night on Friday. So my mom wound up coming down from Big Bear randomly, and I didn't know they were coming down. Met up with her, hung out for a little bit, and she wound up taking the kids, but Janelle didn't know because she was at work. So she took the kids up to Big Bear. So I came to pick up Janelle after work, and because I had dropped her off in the morning. And she's like, where are the kids? And I had already planned out. I found out where Trainwreck was playing because we hadn't gotten to see it yet. And she really wanted to see it. It's not playing very many places, so we had to go out to Ontario. But had like the time all worked out and everything. Picked her up. No kids. She like started crying and stuff. It was great. We went to Daphne's, got Greek food. Went to the movies, and it was fantastic. So,
sounds great.
It's good. So it's a good idea, and it's still working. And I got her a romantic gift this week, although it was one that she said, hey, I want this for my romantic gift, so I didn't have to come up with it.
Romantic
But it was a book. Well, a gift that she wanted, like a present, not necessarily of the adult nature, but she wanted a book written by one of the ex-bachelors. And she's like, I want this book. And I'm like, all right, just buy it for yourself then. So she's like, when I left the house, she was watching Bachelor in Paradise and flipping through like her new book that just came from Amazon.
I should tell her Jensen Karp actually started a Bachelor podcast.
Really?
Apparently a lot of people watch The Bachelor unironically.
Oh, yeah.
Ralph Garman, he talks about it on him and like the sports guy on Kevin and Bean. They have a Bachelor corner on Mondays. Or Tuesdays because it's on Mondays.
Yeah.
So like tomorrow on my drive, I get to. That's funny because they make it funny, but they're really into it. Jensen's really into it. Like
I don't understand.
I don't at all.
I guess whatever.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yep. And that's my stuff.
Cause I remember another time Janelle was reading like a book because at first I'm like,
there
was another. It was like a bachelorette.
It was one of the bachelorettes, yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, that's already the second time I'm reading
it. Oh, yeah. She plows through that stuff. Oh, man. And when she gets together like with my mom, they'll talk Bachelor like, oh, it's horrible. That's great. I'm glad they enjoy it, but I'm like, please stop. Talk about anything else.
Well, I'm just working.
Yeah? It's going good still?
Yeah.
Okay, keeping cool.
I mean, the workload has definitely, they're starting to ramp it up. So
yeah.
but I'm keeping I've got a buffer, so
nice.
I'm like, this is ready to go.
You seem way less stressed than in any of your previous jobs of recent memory.
It's not that stressful.
Pretty.
I got a little stressed today. The only thing that stresses me out is communicative sometimes. So I'm like, because so I have to load up like the computer and any other stuff. But for new hires, I know what to bring. I know, like, this is a brand new office. They're not even there.
Right.
So I know I need this many monitors. I need these cables and stuff. When it's the existing setups and you're either bringing them an additional machine or you're replacing one of their machines, there's so many variables.
Right.
And if they're not communicating with you, you just kind of have to guess what you're going to need. And inevitably, I'm going to have to make another trip. And I'm like, if you had just responded to my email or like respond to my phone call, like, because I'll call them, I'll leave a voicemail, I'll IM them, and these guys still don't even get it, and then I'll get there and they're like, oh yeah, I need this, this, and this, and this. And I'm like, so I'll try to bring anything, but inevitably the one thing I don't bring is the thing that they need, and that's a little bit frustrating. But I just, they're nice. It's not like they're yelling at me. Like, they're getting a brand new computer.
Right.
Like, because some of these ones that I've replaced, they're like I just replaced this one. This dude had this for like 6 years. I'm like, how is this thing even running? He's like, I don't even know. He's like, this is so amazing. So everything I'm doing is like, oh, this is so great. Oh, thank you.
You're like the hero.
I am. I mean, it's nice, but then sometimes like these developer guys, they're like on super crunch time. They're like, while I'm doing it, they can't. And they're like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, well, I'd be in and out if you could, because then we have to like. So first, once we get their new thing set up and then their existing space, and I got the old computer out of there, then I have to move all their data over. And half the time it's not just like, normally, I mean, you probably don't know, but Windows now makes it easy where like it's all in one place.
Right.
Except these freaking guys, they're still like, a lot of them are old school. So like in their root of their C drive, they've got like 8 folders here, and then buried in here they got some other stuff, and then they got like 10 Outlook files, and you got to go dig those out, and then they're like connected to like 8 different printers, and I got to write all those down because then I got to copy it all, because like the way we can do this in a reasonable amount of time is we seriously take the hard drive out of the old computer and then put it in a dock, connect it to the new computer, and then we just start copying stuff over. Because like we're dealing with gigs and gigs of data, so a flash drive is not. You can't. It's even sending it over the network. It's too slow. So like we get these USB 3.0 drive docks that are like a couple $100, and you have to unscrew the computer, get the drive out, and put it in. So like I'm doing that, and then I gotta like figure out which data he wants and what he doesn't, and then inevitably I get everything, I get it back there, and then he's like, oh, I forgot this. But then at that point I'll just like
grab the laptop.
I'll just put the laptop on the network and share the drive with him and be like, you grab whatever else you want to grab, like you're on your own now. And then we keep them for 2 weeks for that specific purpose before we send them back to like get wiped and whatever, because we know they're gonna because at first I'm like, is that really necessary? Like, oh, you'll see. And like I have one that like I'm sending it down to the warehouse tomorrow. The dude IM'd me today and was like, oh yeah, one last thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, like you just
lost it.
Yeah. So
it's
anyways,
good,
but it's fine. I mean,
good.
That's the most stress. And then maybe like so far the most appointments I've had in one day is like 3, and it's spread out, so it's not that bad.
I was telling you earlier before the show, but one of the moms that's at the school, and they're going to come to Long Beach Comic Con for our panel.
Yeah.
But I forgot to tell you this: her husband works at Esri.
Oh yeah.
And
what's he do?
He's traveling. I think she said he's in sales or something.
He's
like
traveling
that.
with probably sales.
So yeah, like because he's in Texas this week and stuff. But she said, yeah, he just got like a new computer last week. And I'm like, my friend probably hooked that up for him. So anyway,
that's what I do.
So it's cool. So they're coming to Long Beach. So it's cool.
So that's what's going on. And then I also want to give a quick update.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if any of our listeners got in on this, and if you did, we appreciate it. But we talked about our friend Josh Forbes. He was gonna this is last week. He was gonna set it up, his GoFundMe, because he directed the "Shut Up and Dance" video and got nominated for Best Rock Video. Which again, those videos don't come up the band doesn't make those. Like, right. I mean, they do, but the director is the one that comes up with the idea, because he went into the whole process in some of these articles, because he ended up, so he made the GoFundMe, got funded in like a few hours,
and then way overfunded
to where Andrea is going to be able to buy like a maternity dress because his wife Andrea is very pregnant, and
car to
he can get like an Uber and he needs a suit because like it's a nice thing.
Right.
But he's gonna get to do all that, and he even was able to hook up another, because then somebody else, I don't know if you saw this, somebody commented on his Facebook, I have an extra ticket, I want to take a director with me. And so he actually put another director that was about to start, they were going to start a GoFundMe, but now he's like, here's your ticket. So he was able to hook up another of these, because Josh is not the only one in this. A lot of these music video directors, like, unless the band or the label like hooks them up, like they don't get to participate in this, and like really like without them, like this doesn't exist.
Well, it's been cool because he did that.
He's been getting on AV Club, Stereo Gum. There was another article even today.
Yeah.
Daily Beast. Like he went viral.
Like a Spanish website. Even, like everything.
Yeah.
So it's been cool, and he's kind of like the voice of this unheard.
Yeah, like the hardworking.
Yeah.
Because a lot of, you think Hollywood, they're all rich, they're all this, but like I was telling you this story, like I knew somebody that lost their house during the writer's strike because they were like a second AD or whatever on a show, and those guys aren't, they're not making residuals while they sit at home, or they don't get paid if they're not working.
Right.
They don't get paid,
and it's not a regular thing.
It's not regular, and it's normal. Most of these jobs are normal paying jobs, like, or even like, think about what your average PA makes. They're like those. I mean, they're lucky if they make like $5. They're like
benefits and stuff.
And like benefits and all that. They're on their own, and so if you're not in a union and you're just kind of working from job to job, like it can be real rough.
Yeah.
And even in the union, you have to keep up your hours and your dues. And a lot of these guys, they weren't even able to pay their union dues. So that's why my friend, he wasn't able to pay his union dues, ended up losing his insurance. I mean, like, so it's pretty crazy. And so it's good to hear those stories, that it's like, because the little guy, and that's what we represent those people. We are the voice of the voiceless. Sometimes I like to say that, like, I stole that from CM Punk, but. Again, like there's a lot of people that are working real hard just trying to make their stuff, and most artists don't. I mean, the starving artist is a thing for a reason.
Well, it was cool to see everyone pitch in and like help them out too.
So that was awesome.
Yeah.
And now he's suggesting there's other directors, like if you look, but then also any further donations. It was
he's donating this.
It's the Los Angeles School for the Blind Center. If you go on his GoFundMe page, there's a link, because it's a non-profit school for the blind that his son attends, because his son is legally blind, and so
it's cool. So it's cool because so many people helped out, and then he's giving back like tenfold. So it's been neat to see. So thanks if you guys helped out with that, and if not, then that's cool too.
So hot in here, you guys.
It's really hot. I'm melting.
We're almost done. So Book Corner finished the untold history of Japanese game developers. Let me tell you, you got to read that book. It's so great, and it's just, I don't know, these Japanese guys, they're so just like humble, but they're just so pure. Like most of these guys, it's like the same thing in different ways. Like I was started off, I was just making games, then I ended up in all this corporate office BS, and a lot of them went back, or they got out of the industry because they didn't want to do that, because they just want to make their stuff.
Yeah.
And like we were just talking about, and like a lot of them are working like normal day jobs, and like they just, or now they're back, like some of them like were lucky enough to like make a little bit of money, but none of these guys are like, most of the people that he interviewed are like famous or rich, but these guys, like, basically, like, you're reading this, like, these people created our childhoods. Like, these guys are responsible. Like, these are the dudes that, like, again, like, maybe not like the main guy, but like these guys made all the levels, or they made the thing, or they designed these smaller games, or they made the music for this game. Like, a lot of these Japanese guys that you never hear about, but these guys made everything. Like, the credits pages are just nuts. Wow. But I mean, he did interview some big guys. Like he interviewed the Mega Man guy.
That's cool.
And then he talked about because he had just finished the Kickstarter for Mighty Number 9, which
that's coming soon.
It's out. I think it's out.
Is it?
I think it's out.
Maybe so.
Might be out. I feel like it's out. Might not be yet. Maybe not. I don't know. I didn't do the Kickstarter.
Back it, but I think it's. I think it might be coming like fall, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And
cool.
And he was asking him like, do you think you're gonna get sued by Capcom? And he's like, well, it's different enough, and like
maybe they should do something with Mega Man then.
But then he other cool, like he interviewed like the guys. For instance, I don't know if you ever had this, but my brother and I, Mega Man 3 on PC CD-ROM.
No.
Yeah, they made like a PC, and it's totally different.
Really?
Mega Man. It's the only game where Mega Man can swim.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a water level.
So wait, there's a water level in
Nope.
2.
Nope.
Bubble.
He doesn't swim.
He does. Well, he floats in the water.
No.
Yes, he does in the bubble one.
No, you can swim in this game. It's the only one where you can swim.
Because he jumps and he like floats in it.
Kind of. Not really.
All the way through Bubble Land.
Yeah, but you got the bubble thing.
No. I'm telling you. He doesn't like swim.
Well, in this,
float.
You swim in the water, swim.
It more like, it's like you jump so you go extra high.
Yeah, you just go high in the water.
You're still floating in the water.
Yeah, but this is you can swim anywhere. So it's like there isn't jumping because you can swim.
Okay.
And it's different. But also it's like different levels. And they also made a Mega Man 1, but it's only half the game. Because my brother, we had both of them. Because there was like, again, they had like no money. Yeah, there was 2 PC DOS games.
And it was Capcom though?
They licensed it,
okay.
But it was like people that Capcom hired, and they interviewed those guys, and they were just these dudes. It was like 2 dudes, like made the whole game.
Crazy.
And they basically made it from scratch, like. So, one of them. So the Mega Man 3, it originally was this like eco game. The reason why it had a water level is because you had to like save an oil rig or something, and then they just changed it to Mega Man. But it was still this like game. So, but anyways, it was pretty crazy. Listen. So anyway, and I had forgotten all about that. I'm like, I had that. I had the Mega Man DOS game. So I remember you typed MM3 to start the game. So yeah, I totally had those. Cool. I had a bunch of weird DOS. I had the DOS Mortal Kombat. I had like a bunch of random ports, like PC ports, just because you would find them for like real cheap, way cheaper than a Nintendo game. Like I think we got both of the Mega Mans for like $5 each on sale, like Electronics Boutique. So it's like you can't get 2 Nintendo games for $10.
Right.
So
especially not then.
Yeah, and like a lot of that stuff. Like I had a lot of random PC ports. I remember we had one of the first PC games I remember playing all the time was RoboCop for PC, which was a port of the arcade RoboCop game, which I think the NES was just a very crappy version of the arcade, but that was an arcade game. And then we had Double Dragon, which the arcade version, not the Nintendo version, which the Nintendo version did not have 2-player simultaneous play.
It was always kind of a sequels, right?
Double Dragon 2.
Yeah.
Which the Double Dragon for Nintendo though is totally different than Double Dragon 2 for arcade. Double Dragon is like there's a lot of weird things like that. So anyway, so we had Double Dragon and then we had Shinobi for PC. Anyways, I could talk about old PC forever. Like look at what this is doing. And currently still reading The Rest Is Noise, but I've kind of put that on hold because now I got book club books. Yep. I am like more than halfway done. Very far into Lemonade War,
which is the first one in the series we're doing right now.
It's really good.
It's cool, right?
It's some of it's like hitting some raw nerves. There's a lot of bullying stuff. There's a lot of sibling stuff,
rivalry,
which I mean, both you and I can relate to that.
But they because it's very much like they love each other and then they fight. And
But then when you see it from both of their perspectives,
it's cool, kind of flip-flop.
Yeah, which is cool. Really cool. It's very cool. And then which is really, it's weird because it's not annoying, the subtle math lessons.
Yeah, you can see why it's in classrooms, but it's not like, it's thrown in there very, like...
Also, as somebody pointed out, like, very pro-capitalism.
Yeah.
Even on the book cover of mine, it says a good introduction to capitalism for youngsters.
Well, I think I think it's taught as like early economics type courses, you know. That
well, totally because think about Lemonade Stand. Think about this is Lemonade Stand the book.
Yeah, it's like the license.
Because they come up with different ways. Like the one where she actually figures out her profit margin. I'm like, this is like the end of the day at Lemonade Stand. Yeah. You spent this much on lemon. How much did you spend on ice? Sugar. And like things that you don't think about, but like they're thinking about.
Do you remember like when Monopoly at McDonald's?
Yes, I played the heck out of that game.
They gave out this
it was Lemonade Tycoon.
Yeah.
It was Lemonade Stand and Extreme.
So it was graphic. The one I played.
And it was yeah. And I remember because I had it on my phone, and then I'm like, because I got it from my phone, and then I'm like, I think there's a PC one. You're like PC one, and then you got it.
Won it from McDonald's.
Oh,
dude, I spent hours on that.
That's how I forgot what job I had where all I did was play that Lemonade game because you could like get improvements in like different areas.
It was almost like a like tower defense in a way because you would like upgrade your different ones and like dude. Oh. Anyway.
Because I remember I'd go over to your house, I'm like, oh, did you get this machine? Yeah. Oh, you need to do more of that. Oh, you need to invest in this. No, you're not doing that right. And then you'd look on because I had it on my phone, and so we'd both be like comparing.
Right.
Man, that was what, 06?
Well, yeah, because that was when I was playing a lot of it when we were living at the
Wasn't that was because that was during the Best Buy Bucks years, too.
Oh, which we were.
That was the golden age of Monopoly. Yep. Let me tell you.
Those Best Buy managers were like,
as soon as we saw, they were like, okay, because I remember the moment we realized what we had. We're going through the exemptions. We're like, okay, no music, no DVDs, and then I remember you were like, does it say video games? And I'm like, no, and then we're just like, no video games. This is it. We found the loophole. And I remember going to Best Buy the first time where we each bought a DS game and paid no money, and they were like, no, and we're like.
Give me my
game.
It's here, and they argued it forever, but we got it.
And then we did it like 4 more times.
Yeah, remember we'd go around to different ones because then they would
because every time was like a battle.
But then you started being able to order them online. Yes. So for a couple years we did that, and then they caught.
Because I think part of my Electroplankton purchase was Best Buy Bucks.
Yeah. Well, those are
because remember Electroplankton you could only get at Best Buy.
Right. It was exclusive.
And you could only get it on the web. They didn't have it at the store.
Well.
And then because after you missed the window of that, and then you wouldn't buy it.
But now I got it.
But now you finally. But for years, I remember because we saw one. You're like, nope, doesn't have the manual.
But now I got one with the manual and everything, so it all worked out okay.
Well, it went back. They went
evened out.
Even once they offered the WiiWare.
Yeah.
Or the DSware.
Yeah, it's like DSi.
Yeah. It kind of because for a while I actually, there was a few times when I was really poor at Disneyland, I was always like, I'm going to sell my Electroplankton. But you're like, no, you can't sell Electroplankton. But because it went up, it got up to $200.
Yeah, with the case and everything.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, for whatever reason, just had the cartridge.
Yeah.
And even those were going for $80-$90.
Yeah. Remember when there was a weird thing with Alex Wright?
Yeah, Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright. Yeah. Alex Wright is a wrestler. Yeah. I'm sorry. Phoenix Wright. Because I remember your brother managed to clean up during that.
No, I did too. We would go around to different GameStops and buy them up and then sell them online for 5 times as much. I don't know what happened. Then, obviously people caught on, but there was a sweet window
I think there was a period where Atlas, their initial run was super low, and then once that happened, then they just they flooded the market.
Yeah. But we managed to get rid of them before it happened.
Well, it was because there's always, that's the thing about people, I don't know, it's weird. It's people like us, we live for things like that. We're because remember, I don't know, we didn't get in on it, but I remember my brother did the Ed Wood thing, where Ed Wood on DVD when it and it immediately got recalled, but there was certain Best Buys that already put it out, and I remember there was a mad dash because I went and they had just got because it was all, I remember the day it happened, they were because it was supposed to come out on Tuesday. If you got there early, because they didn't pull, it had already got put on the shelves, and then they pulled it that Tuesday afternoon. So if you had gotten there a Tuesday morning, you could buy them, and they were already, I remember they were immediately going for $150. because like Disney had already said like we have no plans to release this later. Something it was that Bill Murray footage, I think, was something that happened with the Bill Murray thing, and I remember right away Kevin got on the View. I remember the reason why I went crazy was Kevin got on the View Askew board. He's like, if anybody has one of these, because Kevin that was when he was buying every DVD that came out. He's like, I will give you whatever DVDs you want, like anything in my collect. He's like, I'll give you seasons 1 through 7 of Buffy sealed. And this was like back when that was like that's huge. Like hundreds of dollars,
right?
And like I'll give you anything if you get. And like people started taking them. Like the dude that ended up getting like he gave that dude like $600 worth of DVDs. So I'm like, I got it. And like I remember my brother called me and he's like, because I think he worked right next door to a Best Buy. He's like, bro, I just went into Best Buy and bought like all they had of these, and I've already made like $1,000. He's like, you gotta do. And I remember getting there, and they're like, I think they even might have had a sign. And they're like, no, Ed Wood. Because like people just, it was like a couple weeks of just insanity. But things like that, like I live for stuff like that.
Oh, totally.
Like that huge thing where like it's like a score, like legal. I don't know what you
when stores go out of business, we were talking about this at the Shrine or whatever yesterday. Like
the 2 years, the KB
going out of. I made so much money off of KB going out of business.
KB, Sam Goody.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about all those like big like
the tower.
That's where I got them.
Well, yeah, like that, and like I remember because there was a period where like it was in between when I left that security job and before I got the job at Yamaha. That was like. I lived for 7 months without having a job, and I did it for selling things on eBay and other random deals, like just random stuff. And I remember one of them was when Tower closed, and a lot of the towers towards the end were selling all kinds of stuff. And I remember I was just looking. I finally was like, because I went in to one, and I'm like, these CDs are still a ripoff. I remember being mad, and then I looked up. They had like the one in Brea had like a huge alcove, and it was all toys. So I go in there and I'm looking at stuff, and I'm like, these toys are really cheap. And the guy even came, he's like, all toys are 80% off. And I'm like, okay, this might be something. So I start looking, and it's mostly McFarlane stuff, and even at 80% off, those things don't sell for anything. Right. So I'm like, okay, McFarlane toys. Then I found some Buffy toys, and then this was before he actually had the scanner, but I did have like an Amazon app on my phone, and so I started looking up some of them, and it's like $40, $50, and I'm like, did you say these are 90% off? So like they were like $2 a figure. So I'm like, I'll buy everything you have. And then he's like, oh, I think we got some more stuff in the back, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then this was the big score. This was like, oh gosh, just thinking about this. I'm like, I wish
if you had these yesterday.
Oh my gosh. So then he brings out, and I still wish I had kept one for myself, but like this was how I made a living for a while, and it was scary, and I hated it most of the time because it was like it'd be like the day before rent was due, and I'm waiting for PayPal money to transfer and just stuff like that. Like I could not keep that up, but I did for a while. But and also the eventually the well does go dry, and then you just gotta Yeah. So anyway, so the guy, I'm like, oh, bring out what you got. He brings out these Angel, because there's an episode of Angel where they become puppets, and there was 2 Angel puppets that were made. One, there was standard Smile Time Angel. The other one was Battle Damage Smile Time Angel. For whatever reason, they made a bunch of the Battle Damage Smile Time Angel. So like at retail, these things were like $50.
Mm-hmm.
And the Battle Damage one, they already were going for crazy amounts because they were, by the time they even made it to Tower, they were already like basically out of print, and so already they're rare. But even with like I remember with the discount, they were like $15.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, Battle Damage, I'll get some profit, but I think I passed on those because it wasn't enough.
Right.
But the regular ones were selling for like $150. So he had I think he had 10 of them. So I'm like, if I pay $150, I will make $1,500, right. And that's exactly what I did. And at the time, my rent was like $500, so that paid 3 months' rent.
Yeah.
Right there, without doing anything. And then I got to like go over to Phil's house and do whatever.
Right. And do nothing.
Do nothing. So, but again, those are like the once in a lifetime. Yeah. Like it's like Daryl's. This is what I love. This is what I do. This.
Yeah.
Like when you get that big score.
Well, that was like, I mean, at that same time, that's when I was super getting into buying and selling Legos.
You were hitting the Legos.
I remember I got
hard.
that Viking set.
Yeah.
Where this dude sold a lot of Lego Vikings, all sealed. And it was like everyone in the whole entire set, and I got it for like, I think I paid like $50, and like one set was going for $50, and the bigger ones were like $200.
And that's when you kind of realize this whole eBay, Amazon. Isn't that when you realize your eBay? You came up with your eBay, Amazon
that's when the scheme happened. Like,
formula.
Oh, dude, this is it, and it still works well for me. Let me tell
because because I remember I had all this stuff. You're like, dude, you don't eBay that stuff. You sell that stuff on eBay. You get much better prices. And you won't end up getting those lowball items that ever happen every once in a while. Right. You're guaranteed
Amazon
as much.
Amazon is the way to go.
And
but you get some good deals on eBay though.
Yeah, but sometimes stuff on eBay ends up going way higher.
Right. You have to make a judgment call. Because there are some things that are much better to sell on eBay.
But
that's how I got Captain Action. I got $60 out of Captain Action.
Yep. So. That great times selling stuff. Lemonade War.
In the Lemonade War, which has been it's good.
And then I started another one of the story bundle video game books.
Yeah.
It's called Put This in Your Brain. It's an anthology of like essays from this video game magazine. It's pretty good. Some of them are very pretentious.
Yeah.
Like just like, oh, get over yourself. Oh, you're comparing the Ukrainian conflict to like this video game. Like wow, or like this guy like went into this super dissection of like Dune, and I'm like, all right, dude. Like, how many times can you say the word like, I don't know, just some of these big, I don't know.
Trying to sound smart.
Yeah, but a lot of them are really good. Like this one that I read, we were just talking about Choose Your Own Adventure. He wrote it was a whole little essay about the origins of Choose Your Own Adventure with R.A. Montgomery, and then what's the other guy's name?
Edward
Packard. And where Packard wrote the first one, but Montgomery published it, and they both take credit for it, but they kind of did it together.
Right.
And their stories, they both have their own narrative, and he kind of analyzed that, and like then talking about like on a greater scale how that happens all over the place and the whole like dueling narratives, right. But then also relating it back to Choose Your Own Adventure and storytelling. It's a really well written, and I had never kind of known all those details.
That's cool.
So that was really cool. And so there's some, it's like a mix, but I like it. There's also a really good intro written by Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance. Later, he went into doing comics, Umbrella Academy, and other stuff. But he told some pretty cool stories, like just about how even when he became like this big musician, like he just played video games on his tour bus. And
I read an article about him just recently. I can't think of where now, but yeah, that's cool.
He's a huge gamer, a huge video, like loves tabletop gaming. He talked about his D&D character and his first D&D experiences. So this is cool reading. Like if it's done well, like those are always like they hit you right in the spot, and like and he did a really good job with it. So I thought that was cool. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. Cool. And then you.
Well, I'm still reading The Lemonade War, which is good. We talked about that already. I also started this other book, which was just a random buy at the bookstore, at the used bookstore. It's called I Am the Cheese, which sounds like super cheesy, and I still don't know why the title is what it is. But it was written by the guy who wrote The Chocolate War, which I don't know if you remember reading that at all. I think I read it in school.
I think my teacher read it to us, so I don't really remember it.
But it's kind of, I want to say like young adult maybe.
Yeah.
But it's very like, it's a drama, like written in the 70s, very much in the 70s. So it's really cool, like very meta. Like there's a whole thing, it alternates between like the first person narrative, and then there's like these interview tapes where he's like being interviewed with this psychiatrist, and then he does like this like narrations, but then the psychiatrist responds to it as if he's saying it out loud. So it's like really like twisted, and you don't.
I always got that confused because there's also a book called The Chocolate Touch.
Right. Oh, there's a number of chocolate books, but that one's.
And like that's why I know like Chocolate War is like a super serious.
Right.
But I always would get them confused.
Chocolate Touch is like
Chocolate Touch, everything he touches turns to chocolate.
Yeah, and it's funny and so.
And like it's goofy. But then I remember, because then when my teacher said they're going to read this, I'm like, wait, is this like the chocolate touch?
I love that
and then I'm like, wait, what is this?
Well, remember, he's so excited at first, but then even if he drinks water, it turns to chocolate, and he's like dying of thirst, and that's great. Anyway, so it's interesting, though, and I'm enjoying it. And it was just kind of a random one, so.
All right. Well, hey, let's do lightning round.
Lightning round.
New movies.
You did a little marathon.
I did a Phil Vecchio patented triple feature. I went to Moreno Valley.
Right.
Got stuck behind a truck. Took me almost.
On the pass.
Well, then I almost had a Brendo meltdown in Moreno Valley because first I got stuck behind a truck because I'm trying to make this Spy because Spy was playing at the cheap theater.
Right.
So I'm trying to make that. I get there, their credit card reader is broken. And I'm like, is there an ATM around here? She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, thanks, real helpful person. Do you not want my money?
I don't really care that much.
She didn't care. And then she's like, well, there was luckily a credit union like right around the corner.
Okay.
And then I run back, made it in time, and saw Spy, and it was awesome.
Really good, right?
And yeah, it was great. Although the seats in that theater are not comfortable.
No, it's not the same.
At all.
Oh, no.
Like they don't. Well, it's just weird because they don't move.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this is it. This is what I'm getting. So I had to move around a couple times to find a decent.
Yeah, because different ones have different.
Well, some of them. Yeah, and some of them are like different angles, and like so I'm like, this is a very like weird experience.
Different stickinesses of the floor, but you're only paying a couple bucks. So.
Yep. So it's kind of a trade-off there. And then I went to the mall, which that mall is insane.
Yeah.
It has a Sparrow.
Yeah, it's so much weird stuff.
I ate at the Sparrow
favorite Italian
because I wanted to, because I'd forgotten, and Sparrow is disgusting. Every time I've gone, I'm like, why did I do this? And I guess because it's been so many years, because I have not seen a Sparrow in so long, because most of them are gone. And
not bad.
I don't know, dude. Like watching the way they take the noodles and they re-boil them because they're already cooked, and then they re-cook them, and then they're like super. I just remember like I got the side spaghetti, it was just super liquidy.
Yeah, and like the pizza slices at Sparrow. I don't
like
venture into the pasta.
But like I don't know, it was weird and gross but
there's
whatever.
A really good. I think it's a little Japanese like rice bowl place there.
That whole. I don't know. That whole food court was looking pretty shady. Like I walked by their Panda Express one, and I was just like, I have no idea how long that steam table stuff has been sitting there, and it's towards the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're not making fresh ones, so
what you see is what you get. Did you go in the comic shop there?
No, because I was on limited time, and it was full of Magic the Gathering people, and I opened the door, and it was like a waft. Of
on a hot day too,
and it was very funky in there.
Yeah.
Because it looked like the one that's like at the Buena Park Mall. Why do all the weird malls have those like huge giant?
Yeah, because like half of it's set up.
And then if you go but then they also there's a downstairs because it's a 2-story mall, and if you go to the downstairs, the storefront has that, but there's nothing in there.
Well,
so like
they're in the process of moving. I talked to them about it last time I was there. So like. I don't know, maybe it's different now, but they were like half in one place and half in the other one.
Well, now one of them is empty, but it still says comic.
Well, it's because they're like actively moving.
Okay.
So that's why.
But it's kind of, I don't know how they.
Well, they have the FYE there too.
And I didn't
use CDs.
As soon as I stepped in, like 3 of the employees started like. So I just kind of like turn around. I'm out.
Yeah,
like,
you do have to fight that, but.
And then there's like all kinds of weird like in the middle booths.
Yeah.
There's like it looked like a glorified like freaking rummage sale going on.
That's how malls are now.
And there's all these like and then it's like a freaking carny land. Everybody's barking at you.
Dude, it's like waiting in line to get across the border from Mexico. Like everyone's like, hey, have my thing, have this. Like no.
And then there's like a lot of like Christian T-shirt places with all those horrible. Just like, ugh.
And they have a bunch of balloon farms.
Yeah, what's with the balloon farms?
I don't know, but our kids are like, oh, we want those.
But like when I saw them, like there's nobody who's watching those.
I don't know. It's weird.
How does it work?
They just have these balloon farms around.
Can you just take them?
I have no idea. I don't understand how they work. I don't want to even ask because I don't want a sales pitch or whatever.
Like if you take one, does the salesman like jump out of the bushes?
Yeah, I guess. They just have like these little farms with these balloons that are like, I guess they're just kind of inflated, so they just kind of float low to the ground.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't. And there's like several of them.
I don't understand what's going on at that mall.
It's really weird. But the movie theater is awesome.
The movie theater is a really good movie theater. But it was like straight out of Compton happened, and white people were scared. So hi police. There was a freaking SWAT van outside them. It was a mobile police unit, is what it said on the side. But I'm like, what the heck is going on at this mall? And then I saw, because outside, so they were showing straight out of Compton in like a bunch of theaters, and outside of those, they checked your ticket. So they were, but like all the other ones, there was nobody checking tickets. It was just straight out of Compton.
No one was checking Ant-Man.
Yeah. Well, like people walked in, and then that was the other thing that was annoying was during Ant-Man, like halfway through the movie, like this huge group of people came in, like super loud.
Totally just snuck in.
Yeah, and I'm like, first of all, you don't know what's going on. Yeah. And also, like, what kind of jerks come in loud? If you're going to be sneaking in, the keyword is sneak. And then I'm like, where? And then, I don't know, it was annoying. But, so I saw Trainwreck.
Yeah.
Awesome. I loved it. Loved it. Oh, gosh, Amy Schumer's amazing. Everybody's amazing. As I told you, we talked about it earlier, but the number one surprise for me on this, Colin Quinn. I'm normally not a huge fan. I've liked him a little bit in some things, but like
he was my least favorite Weekend Update.
He crushed it.
Yeah, he was really good.
Because I don't know, Apatow always it's kind of become like one of his he gets some older comedian like Albert. I mean, this is 40. That was Albert Brooks like all the way, and so in this one, I remember Harold Ramis in Knocked Up.
Yeah.
Like that kind of role and. So, but this one, I mean, Colin Quinn just crushed it.
Great.
So good.
Yeah, that's the one that we saw.
And again, like, just some of the family stuff really hit with me, and just kind of that, like, Lost in Your 30s, like that really hit. The job, some of the job stuff. Tilda Swinton.
She was amazing.
Was like a freaking she is a chameleon.
It took me like several minutes of watching her to realize who, like, I know that actress who is, oh my gosh, it's Tilda Swinton. It's the White Queen.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it very much also. My only complaint, as I mentioned before,
as a non-sports fan,
there was a lot of sports stuff in it.
Yeah, but it didn't detract.
No, but there were several scenes where like people were laughing a lot in the audience, and I'm like, is there a joke in this?
You didn't know who any of the athletes
like there's all kinds of cameos.
Well, you knew who LeBron James was.
I mean, because they said this is LeBron James.
Also, he was on SNL.
I still couldn't pick him out of the lineup until now. Now I could because I've seen the movie.
John Cena was real funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody was.
I
really
enjoyed
good.
it very much, but that definitely you could tell they're like, we gotta, romantic movies. We gotta put some sports stuff in for the dudes, and I was like, I didn't need any of that stuff, but that's okay. I still enjoyed it.
Bill Hader, leading man, Bill Hader crushed it.
There was a lot of really good performances in it.
It was great. Loved it. Awesome.
It's very much that like Judd Apatow, like filthy, but then like heartwarming. Like he's got that.
But
the perfect mix.
I guess I didn't really talk about. I mean, again, we're doing lightning round, but Spy, so good.
No, yeah,
Statham, hilarious. Yeah. And
totally
I already knew who was going to be the VIP for me. I mean, besides Melissa McCarthy, but as far as supporting VIP, Rose Byrne is the best.
Yeah.
She's good. She's good in everything I've seen her in. I mean, Bridesmaids killed it. Get Into the Greek, she was so funny. She's funny in everything. She's so funny.
Yeah. Neighbors.
Yeah.
But this one,
she was so
amazing.
Just like her and Melissa McCarthy, like just like, oh my god, so funny. I think my favorite scene was that like Swedish guy and Melissa McCarthy just keeps just like he's like, oh, you're like just making him like just, he's like, are you crying? No. Like she's so. I don't know what's wrong with, like, she's just so funny. Paul Feig is great. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
it was so good.
He's great. He's on a roll.
I caught the Feig cameo.
I did too, but I can't remember.
He was in the hallway, like, when she was coming into the seedy hotel, or one of the hotels. I don't know if it was a seedy one, but he was just in the hallway.
Just there.
Cameo.
It's been a while, but I don't understand why people weren't, like, I feel like people did not respond to it as well as other Feig stuff. I mean, it did okay, but...
I really liked it. It was great. And Good guy Paul Feig. I tweeted him like, "Hey, this movie's awesome," and he favorited the tweet.
Nice.
And I know that doesn't take a lot of effort, but hey,
a little bit of
effort. Yeah. You know who does that? You know, out of my people, Paul Feig does that, and wrestlers do that, and not too many other. I mean, I've had a few other notable favorites. I mean, Leslie Jones followed me, but
there.
That was awesome.
Oh, speaking of, wait.
Her bit in Trainwreck.
That was
like my favorite. As soon as I saw her, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be great. She's like, don't talk to me.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. Oh, dude.
Like, you think I know her? And then there's that other. She's like, don't lean against me. Like Leslie Jones. Yeah, as soon as she gave her Leslie Jones look, I'm like, oh.
That was like, I think that was my favorite. Like,
Mario has a question for you.
Was Spy better than Spy Hard?
Ooh,
that's tough.
I mean, for me,
those are very, very different movies we're talking about here. Like,
but they're both kind of parodies on the genre.
Yes, but one is very much more slapsticky. Like this one was, it was a real movie that was sort of a parody of it, but
still,
it was meant to be realistic.
Awesome, the other crazy one was action.
Weird Al, like floating around in a helicopter singing, "You gotta spy hard."
I love
How do you not love that?
But also, my other favorite thing in Spy is her reaction, because it was crazy violent.
Yeah.
But her reaction to the violence, like when she's just like either fainting or throwing up. Like,
right.
And speaking of puke scenes. I kind of knew it was coming, but when Amy Schumer's watching the surgery and she just throws up on the window.
I looked away. I could not.
That was brutal. It's like bones sticking out.
I can't, like, it's one thing when you see, like, Expendables and they're shooting up hundreds of dudes. Like, that's so fake and cheesy.
Like
but when it's a surgery and it looks real, like, I was like, oh, I didn't even see her barf. I looked back and saw it on the window and knew that it happened, but I did not watch that part. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Spy Hard is a classic, though, and it's Leslie Nielsen, Weird Al. It's fantastic.
And then finally, I watched Ant-Man. Holy crap.
Yes.
Ant-Man was so good. Michael Douglas was so good.
Right?
Everybody was so good. Paul Rudd is just a national. I mean, between this and Wet Hot and just everything, he's
an American treasure.
Oh, he's so good.
And now he's in the
and
Marvel
also
universe.
He might be a vampire.
Yeah, because he does not.
Him and Kelly MacDonald, I'm like convinced.
Does not age.
Like they're like whatever they're taking. I don't know if they're taking the Death Becomes Her potion or like what's going on.
It's working.
Something.
Dude, but yeah, just so like the humor was great, the effects were amazing.
Well, especially the funniest part is like if you watch Wet Hot American Summer, everybody else looks like pretty different.
Right.
But Paul Rudd, if you took scenes and put them, like somebody I think even did, they're like, which movie is this from? And you would get it wrong. Like you don't know.
Well, my other favorite part in Ant-Man was like the flashback sequences, like where he's narrating, like, oh, and then she said this, and they're all like lip syncing to it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, and like it's all.
Like,
yeah, and Michael Pena is great. Yeah. He's always really good.
He's great. A lot of good supporting people.
Just all of, like the little gang was really funny.
Yeah.
And then Bobby Cannavale.
Yeah.
And
I love him and everything.
Especially because he was in that and he was in Spy.
Yeah, that's right.
I just realized that.
All over the place.
He was a bad guy in Spy, and he was like a sort of, but he was a good guy.
He was a good guy. He was
doing his job.
Doing his job, right? That's like a classic trope,
I just realized that he is in both of them. He's so good.
My favorite thing ever still with him is Station Agent.
Oh yeah,
I love that movie.
Station Agent's amazing.
But I could watch that over and over again.
I mean, I love it. I love everybody in that movie.
Yeah, it's just brilliant.
It's like all my favorite things because what's the lady's name that's in that? She's in a lot of stuff.
I know, I can't even remember.
But she's in 6 Feet Under, and she's really good in that. And then I mean that was like the world's introduction to Peter Dinklage.
Well, yeah, like on a legitimate level, like I think he did a few other things.
Did a few, but a lot of them were little people, typical little people.
That was, and that one of my favorite things about that movie is that it almost is not even mentioned that he's a little person.
Yeah.
Like it's just not a thing.
Yeah.
It's just he's a dude.
And he likes trains.
Like that. Like you almost think they're gonna go there, and then they never quite.
They never do.
Like it's awesome.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I can't believe the's not more movies like
and
that.
It's so good. And Bobby Cannavale and his food truck.
Oh my gosh, he's hilarious. And always
so
he's got so many good one-sided phone conversations, but he's masterful at them. Sometimes it's so fake sounding, but he just All
right. So you watched Trainwreck.
I watched Trainwreck, like we said. It was fun. Too many sports references, but I still enjoyed it. And it was a great date night one for us.
Oh, and also Ant-Man might have had my as far as excitement goes, one of the best Marvel stingers, because the one, because it wasn't like it puts you this is from the middle of Civil War. You don't know quite what's going on. They just put you, it's just a flash to this in the middle of you're like, whoa, what the heck.
Well, spoiler if you haven't seen it. The mid teaser was, that one was telegraphed. You knew she's gonna become the Wasp, but that was still great that they followed through on that. I was very pleased.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good movies.
Exciting. All right.
Mario in the chat says, "Civil War: The South shall rise again."
Yeah.
That's good.
I actually was battling the WWE Network this week.
Oh, really?
I have discovered where watching any of the old stuff, which I'm pretty sure what happens is they have a whole, it's called QoS. You have certain devices, especially when you're doing these kind of video streaming stuff,
right,
where you give certain things priority as far as bandwidth. So their brand new stuff and their live streaming stuff probably gets a huge portion of their bandwidth,
right,
which leaves not so much bandwidth allocation for their vast library of classic programming. And I'm trying to watch Raw from the beginning, so
right,
1993 Raws. Well, now every time I watch, it's just non-stop buffering.
Really?
A stop, start, stop. On the Xbox, on the web, I've tried every app that I have on my phone. I've tried everything, and it's the same thing. And then you look online, and everybody is having this problem. So I'm they know that this is a thing. So I'm let's see what happens if I open a support ticket. And I know I could choreograph this entire chain of try this, just stall, 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 stall. You keep doing these things till eventually you're gonna give up. Because I have done that play. When I know that there is not gonna be a solution immediately, or we don't know when it's gonna be fixed, you just gotta keep pushing them back. You have to make contact, but since you don't have a solution, you just gotta kind of keep. And I'm I know this, I've done this, but fine, I'll play. But then I think they got a little cocky, so they're maybe I should try this. So what they did was I think they put me on a beta version of the app or something.
Okay.
So reload the app. So I did, and this version of the app is worse.
Really?
It doesn't have a resume function. So if you start playing something and then you leave,
oh, it's the worst.
It doesn't have a seek. You can't skip.
You can't. So it's like Yahoo on the web.
Yeah. So I'm if you don't give me back and then it's still, so then I'm well, maybe the old ones. Nope, still doing the same problem. So I'm oh, I just got the total. So I basically start tweeting. I'm I just got punished for opening a support case. Oh, you want?
I'm gonna give you this.
Yeah.
Then.
Well, Josh even jokes. He's they just waterboard you. Oh, now your legs are gonna be tired because you just pulled yard duty.
Right.
Now your back's gonna be tired because you just pulled weed duty. That's basically.
Yep.
Oh, you want to complain? I'll give you something to complain about. So then I'm okay, I was almost me saying all right, you win. Please give me back the old one.
Please have the old thing back.
So they put it back, and then because I was so who knows when that other thing's gonna get fixed.
Well.
But people are raising a commotion, so.
Plenty of other people will take care of it for you.
They do brag about their 93% customer satisfaction rating. I'm that's about to change if all these people that are mad, you guys better. Well, because again, I know this is stuff. I've actually learned a lot about this in my networking classes. If what I think is the problem, this is not something they can just. It's not a quick fix. It's a pretty expensive and costly infrastructure issue. So they're probably testing things out and probably trying to not spend all that money, but eventually they're going to have to do some investing,
right?
And it's going to be expensive. So I think that's what's happening with this. Either way, this weekend was a big weekend in wrestling. SummerSlam, NXT had one, and it was very exciting because NXT actually sold, NXT sold out the Barclays Center, SummerSlam sold out the Barclays Center, and that's crazy that this time last year NXT was just developmental. They showed it on TV, but it wasn't like this huge thing. And now with all these huge names that they brought in, the stars that they're churning out, everything's full throttle. They're turning they sold as many tickets as a normal WWE show. Like, that's crazy. They're going to UK like in December, so it's cool. Becoming a whole huge thing. There's a lot of great matches. It's exciting. SummerSlam. The internet seems to have not liked SummerSlam, but they don't like anything. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. Jon Stewart, heel turn, hit John Cena with a chair.
Really?
It was kind of awesome.
Like Jon Stewart,
Daily Show Jon Stewart, who was the host of SummerSlam. First he came out with Mick Foley. So it was actually I thought it was funny. Again, wrestling fans, some of them, I'm like, wrestling has always had this kind of showmanship and pageantry, and I don't know what to tell you if you don't think this belongs in wrestling, because this is wrestling. This is what it is.
Okay.
So he came out and he's like, I'm here to interview Brock Lesnar, but I brought some backup. And then Mick Foley comes out and he's like, wait a minute, I think our phone connection was bad because I thought you said Rock. And Jon Stewart, The Rock. Okay. And because I'm fine with The Rock and I are buds, but you're going to interview Brock Lesnar? And Jon Stewart's like, yeah, I want to give him a piece of my mind. And then Mick Foley's like, all right, well, see you later. And it was just kind of funny because, Brock Lesnar, he's big and tough and going to destroy people. Oh, you don't even know who Brock Lesnar is?
I know you talk about him.
Well, he was a UFC champion as well, so he's pretty well known.
I know the name.
He's a large man whose neck muscles alone could probably he could probably choke you with his neck muscles. Anyways, so then they just did this funny little bit with that, and I'm like, oh, it's funny. And then I look online and it was like, oh, this is terrible, it's boring. Get to the wrestling. I'm like, come on, come on. And it was fun. I did it really well predicting stuff. Some of the angle related stuff where I'm like, this is gonna happen during this match. Nothing that I predicted that happened, but I predicted the results almost 100%.
Wow.
I'm getting pretty good.
You should write for them.
No.
Why not?
Because writing for WWE involves you suggesting 100 things and 99 of them getting turned down, and the one thing that you do suggest gets completely twisted.
But they pay you.
They do pay you.
No, I'm just saying,
I would totally do it. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but I feel like I would do it, and that everybody I've ever read, heard about, you do it and it's awesome for 6 months, and then it's the worst thing you've ever done in your life, and then it almost ruins your love of wrestling. And I don't know if I want that. I would want that to happen because I don't know. I loved working for Kevin and everything, but it was almost like working at Disneyland. It did kind of
saw behind the magic,
and it's never, not that it's still not good, but it does change it forever. And I feel with wrestling, I feel like I know the other side. I'm still an outside observer, but I know I'm knowledgeable enough. But I still can sit down and enjoy the product 100%. If I did get involved in that level, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do that. And I want one thing that I can just, because even with computers, I get home and even now there's a good solid hour where I just want to sit on that couch and I don't want to look at this freaking thing. So I want something that's pure. Because honestly, I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty good drive. I had a dream of working for Kevin Smith, and it took a lot of years, but I did it. I made that dream happen, and I feel like if I really put my mind to it, maybe I could get a IT job at but something if I really, or maybe even at an indie, or because what Benson and I were trying to do and getting into that indie level, maybe that had panned out, but then again, maybe that would have totally ruined my enjoyment.
Could.
So there's some things I just want to keep pure, because even now, even when I'm at Disneyland, I'm always thinking oh, there's that or that thing or that bad show there or this or like that. And I don't know if you, I mean, maybe you haven't experienced this. I don't know what it is. I feel like people have psychic powers because I don't know about you, but like I'll go to Disneyland even now, and for some reason people will ask me stuff.
Well, that happens to me just all the time though. Like in
but
the store.
I don't understand it. And then because people will be like, "What's going on?" And then I do, and I swear sometimes I've had like APs because I still double point.
Well, that's a giveaway right there.
And so they'll see me doing that, and then they'll come, and that happens without fail at least once per Disney visit. So even that, like, I'm like, I wish I don't even. Not that I don't. That's like extra it's magic. Cool, but it also is just. It makes it. It's different.
It's different. It is.
And like I don't know. I've been through those doors. I've toured the whole backstage. I've been in every nook and cranny, and yes, it was awesome, but it also like. It's different now. Like, not that it's not great, but it is different.
Right. Yeah,
and like, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like I want to keep this because like with the internet and everything, and you can follow the wrestlers and like they're very candid. So like for me, that's enough. Like,
close enough.
You know, like a lot of people don't even like a lot of hardcore wrestling fans that just like wrestling. They don't even look up wrestling on the internet because that alone does kind of pull the curtain back a little bit. But I like that. I like knowing how things work, but being part of it is a whole other level, and I don't know. So, but anyways, Tim and Eric's Bedtime Stories was crazy.
Which I also watched.
And I watched the whole thing in one night. You said 2 nights?
It took me 2 nights.
I did one night.
Because they're like 10 minutes long, most of them.
Minutes. And I did the whole like, okay, one more.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, now it's almost, I'm almost done.
On that one.
But they're not tied together at all. They're independent. Because at first I had no idea what it was, and the first one is just crazy. So I'm like, I didn't know. I had no idea. And then because you got that, and then I think the Toes
one was the second one.
And that one's just disgusting and like hurt, like to the point where I was looking away because he's just like cutting off.
It's up close on the.
Especially because I had that horrific foot injury.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
And so it's like bringing back like Phantom, like because that was what I was terrified of. Was when I did that, I thought because I thought I was gonna lose my toe, and like so watching him just like cutting off.
He like gobbles them. Yeah. Let me tell you this, okay? If you haven't watched Tim and Eric's Bedtime Stories, start with Tim and Eric's Awesome Show. Great job. And if that like grosses you out, do not watch this show.
But if you want to see what Tim and Eric will do with, you know, as Derek pointed out, Tim and Eric Awesome Show is very much like lightning quick.
Right.
This is the closest thing to, besides the movie, that you get to Tim and Eric doing long form narrative with an actual story. I mean, it's their own way of doing it.
Sometimes it's very much a Shaggy Dog story.
But it's still a 11-minute. Yeah. It's one plot.
Yeah.
But some of them, oh my god!
It's on Hulu now.
I think it's their best thing. Like,
well, to me, it feels almost like season 6 of Tim and Eric.
Yeah.
They hit that pinnacle, like, you know, and then that's what they moved on to.
Because did you watch season 5 yet?
Still not done yet. I'm in 4 still.
Okay.
I'm taking my time. Actually, like, because I'm watching through it with Janelle, so then I'll go back and watch some old episodes again. Like,
but you're on season 4. Did you watch the Tommy Wiseau one?
I still haven't gotten Tommy Wiseau. Because again, I'm going back and forth. I'm watching some old ones. Then I go on again. I'm savoring it.
Yeah.
So
it's so good.
It's so good.
But so my favorite one was either the Bathroom Boys with Zach Galifianakis, but the Roommates one
is fantastic.
Is because to me like that was about as on the nose like parody that I've ever seen them do.
Yeah.
Because like it's basically them making fun of like wannabe rich.
Actors,
it's like rich wannabe actor people.
Yeah.
And I know those people. Like
it was great. I really like the Babies one too. Be a Baby.
Oh my god! Well, especially because like with John C. Reilly and like the directions that one goes.
So weird, so awesome. But then again, for pure,
you got your goo goo gaga.
Yeah.
You do your goo goo gaga.
You put your headphones on. But for pure like Shaggy Dog story though, the Toe one is the best. Like that is the greatest Shaggy Dog story.
Odenkirk.
Like Odenkirk is fantastic, and
Gillian Jacobs is in it.
And it just like it's a perfect ending.
Also, I don't know if you noticed during the first episode. What is that? Oh,
Steve's
Steve's here.
What's up, Steve?
Sorry, there was noise. It scared me.
I'm
like yelling at Steve. You.
I think you unmuted it. There we go. Oh, yeah, he muted and then you unmuted right after he muted, I think.
It was just loud. I'm not trying to.
Loud noises.
A bedtime story. I don't know if you noticed this during the first episode when they go over to Tim's house.
Yeah.
And the friends, one of them is Donkey Lips.
No, really?
That Mike, the big dude.
Is it really?
That is Michael Bauer.
I didn't even
that is Donkey Lips.
That's him. The guy's night.
The guy's night. The guy's at my house. I got my family.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And then he just dumps trash.
Get in the hole.
Oh my god.
It's so weird. Again, it's not for everybody.
Weird, but I love it.
But it's amazing. It's amazing. I told Janelle just a little bit. She's like, I will never watch that with you. She's watching like regular Tim and Eric, but she's like, there's no way.
I don't know. There's some you can actually follow the story.
I think she maybe watch the bathroom one. Like I'd pick and choose. The Toes one, she would get so mad.
But I think roommates,
maybe.
Bathroom Boys,
I think I could get her to watch.
Oh.
Anyway, it's so weird. It's so.
And
awesome.
Bathroom Boys has the British girl is Maggie from Walking Dead. We don't watch Walking Dead. And on Walking Dead, she has a Southern accent, so that's her real accent is when she's doing a British accent.
Zach Galifianakis in that one with his big poofy hairdo, like.
I just love that they're secretly living in the bathroom. And they got their whole system.
They close it all up every time someone comes.
But then they have there's at any given time there's 3 janitors and Zach Galifianakis is the bathroom attendant.
Yeah.
But then they're whipping the towels off. Yeah.
Do you have courtesy flush? Oh my gosh! All right.
Well, you got some.
Well, I'll go fast.
You got some stuff.
So DVD on demand. So I watched this movie called The Words, which is really cool. It's like a story within a story within a story kind of thing. And
who's in it?
Dennis Quaid. There's Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, I totally have this in a queue somewhere.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. It's I don't know. It's cool. It's very meta. It's a guy writing a story about a guy writing a story, and you're wondering which level is the reality level. But it's very satisfying. I enjoyed it. I rewatched through Extras season 1 because it was on Amazon. No, Hulu. No, Amazon. It's on Amazon. So I watched season 1. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch season 2. And season 2 you have to pay for. And I'm like, what?
I have it because I have HBO Go.
I know, but it's such a bait and switch. Here, watch the first season. It's amazing. And I've watched it before, obviously, but anyway.
You don't have them? I thought you have them on DVD.
I thought I did too, and then I tore everything apart and I can't find it. So either I never did get it, I might have just rented it. It might have been during the Blockbuster era.
Could have been during the Blockbuster era.
Because I know I watched them on DVD, but I don't remember. Then I watched this one. This was just random. I think this one is on Amazon Prime. But it's called Lovesick. And here's how I came across it. I was looking through, after I watched Vacation, I was looking through Chevy Chase's IMDb to see
this
what he's done.
This is how you end up watching bad movies.
And he was in this one.
Again, going by cast is a dangerous move.
So the lead in the movie is, I can't think of his name. What's his name that plays Joey on Friends? Matt LeBlanc.
Okay.
He's the lead.
Well, he's on a Showtime show that's really funny.
Yeah. Honestly, I watched it all the way through because it was just not bad enough that it was interesting. The premise is
Chevy Chase in it for 2 seconds?
Yeah, he's the next door neighbor that sneaks in his house and watches dirty movies in his house.
It's Charles Grodin and that freaking
he's
Jason Bateman.
Barely in it.
They brought him back for that and it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean he has a couple funny lines and stuff, but it's just a cash grab, paycheck job. But the premise of the movie is whenever he meets a girl and falls in love, he goes clinically insane. The psychologists declare that, and so it's trying to work through that. So it's kind of
sounds stupid.
Kind of like a drama, they're working on they're trying to work through.
It's one level above the South Park where whenever he sees her, he throws up.
Yeah, that's literally what this is.
That's a South Park joke.
But they take it seriously. I don't know. I was compelled to watch it all the way through for some reason, but I certainly could not recommend it. But I was like,
I want to know what movies. Have you ever walked out of a movie?
Like in the theater?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It doesn't sound like something you would do.
It would have to be,
especially with all the poo that you watch.
Well, okay. First of all, I do like at least a little bit of research, so I know what I'm walking into. Yeah. Like, it would. I'm not gonna like. We've known people that have done some stupid like go to the movies and not know what you're doing kind of thing, but. It would have to be pretty bad.
Have you ever stopped watching a movie on like Netflix or other stuff?
I have, yeah. See, I love Netflix for that because if I'm like, I don't know, and I'll watch like 5 minutes, I'll give it 5 minutes.
What was the last movie you did that to?
Oh, I probably did 20 of them this last week. I couldn't even tell you. Like,
you just watch like all kinds of random.
I'll just like, oh, that's interesting. I'll click on that, and then that looks dumb. I started watching this Joseph Gordon-Levitt TV show where he like crowdsources stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting, but I watched a bit of it, because basically it's all crowdsourced stuff, and there's, animations and songs.
Because he made like a book, he made like all kinds
of web series and web stuff. But the problem is when you have stuff that's crowdsourced, then it's
some very
it varies. A couple of things
hit record,
yeah, and then it was hit record on TV is what the show is called.
Okay.
And it wasn't bad, but it was very hit and miss. Like some of them, I was like, "Oh, it's really good," and others, I was like, "Oh, this is bad," and I gave up on it. But I watched a little bit. I think I actually watched the first episode, and then I was done. So
you gotta keep rolling.
Moving along. Last Comic Standing. They did the first round of semifinals, and they chose all the stupid people. Like only 2 people that got through out of the 5 did we even like. One of them we loved, and the other one was okay.
The worst. That's why I stopped watching Tough Enough.
But there's a couple. They have another round, so we'll have some more people in there. But they picked. The thing is in one half of my brain, I'm like, I realize this is a show, and their producers are like, oh, here, let's get these idiots that are on here because people are going to be mad at them, or they're really quirky and weird, so, we got to have something so we can have good promos and stuff.
You got to have the mean girl.
Yeah, well, and there's, like, the real quirky, weird girl. You got to have the gruff, mean girl.
Yeah.
And they have, it's like...
You got to have the one that'll start the fights.
Right, like, it's stupid.
Because you got to have fights.
Because you got to have that stuff, but I hate it.
Which is dumb. Like the whole manufactured.
I just want it to be a real stand-up comedy show and really pick the funniest people.
Well, then you should go watch.
I should just watch them. But there's still some good stuff that came through, and so blah blah blah. And that's Tim and Eric. So.
All right, I finished Comedy Bang Bang. Nice. All that's on Netflix. That Kevin Smith episode was amazing. I just really like. And then I like the one. There was one where they travel back. And they actually got some of the older guests and like exact moments. Yeah. And they, some of those they straight up recreated, or maybe because it was a lot of them were things that had happened during that season.
Yes, I think
so they probably filmed it during. But then there's ones where they went really far back, and I'm like, they had to have recreated that. Like that was.
Plus, Weird Al as the bad guy was so great.
Oh my! That time travel episode was probably the funniest thing. And there's like 8 different Reggie, and they're like
keep spilling,
they're spilling stuff everywhere. It's such a great like making fun of time travel things while also
being kind of interesting because you see like the guy runs by, and then the next time you find out why that guy ran by, et cetera, et cetera.
Just stuff like that. So it was really funny, and I'm really gonna miss Reggie.
I know. I'm sure they'll do great things, but man.
So then I actually made me want to watch a lot of the Reggie stuff from the new show that he's on.
Yeah.
And so I did that a little bit on YouTube. Yeah, he's great. It's also cool to see him with a full band.
Yeah.
Like the band that he has. And but still, I don't know. It's different. And then I started watching It's Always Sunny again, and the show's so funny. I just watched the one with Roddy Piper in it.
Yeah.
And so at the end of it he gets arrested and taken away, and we saw him live with Mick Foley, and I still think this is Roddy Piper, like he always was like on, and he was never not throwing yarns.
Right.
And so he said that was him getting arrested for real, because he had like a warrant, because he had like he called it, this is how familiar he was with it, he called them because at first he's like, yeah, I had a few Deweys, and we're like, Deweys? That's what he called DUIs.
Oh gosh. Wow.
That he had a casual name for a DUI. So he said that when It's Always Sunny, when he gets put in the cop car and taken away, and then you don't see him, that was real. Which Benson's like, if that was anybody other than Roddy Piper, I would absolutely not believe that. But because it's Roddy Piper, like, you don't know. Like, who knows? Like, so, anyways, and then just his whole, like, basically homeless wrestler living in his car character was very funny. And that show is hilarious. I love that show. I was just telling you about the Kitten Mittens.
Yeah, Kitten Mittens.
And the other thing they come up with, like Danny DeVito comes up with it, is like an actual, like, because they're like a shot out of a gun, like, you know, like but they're trying to, but they're like trying to use real guns. They're like, this works so well with squirt guns, but how do you do this? So like they'll take a shotgun and then just all of it will come out at once, and like, so they're using like the guns. Like, it's pretty funny.
That's funny.
And yeah, just funny stuff like that. It's just a really funny show. The really depraved characters.
Right.
Like, it's just Seinfeld, like, cranked up to like 11, basically. Nobody learns anything. Nobody. No hugs. No learning. Yeah. For him, it's basically, yeah.
Well,
I gotta hear about this.
So I watched a movie on Netflix. Really interesting.
Yeah.
So I think this was this the one that was like a Netflix original, or did this actually come out?
Came out in theaters because Derek saw it in the theater.
Very briefly, right?
Yes.
It's called The Cobbler.
Yes.
Adam Sandler.
Yes.
Is weird.
Yeah. That's what Derek said.
It's really weird. Like, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it with a question mark.
That's exactly what. It's almost exactly what Derek said.
Okay, because like it's not just a comedy. I mean, it's barely a comedy. It's more of like a drama, like kind of an examination of like race in New York City. But then it's also like a superhero movie, and I don't mean like a fantasy like Click. I mean like a superhero movie.
Yeah.
But then it's like lighthearted and there's comedy, but then it's like really violent at parts.
Yeah.
It's like it's weird. It's very uneven, and then like Dustin Hoffman has like the weirdest cameo. Like it's strange, and then like spoiler alert, I guess. But then it kind of ends like Batman, and he's like a new Batman, like. But he makes shoes.
I have to watch it.
It's so weird, and it's like. Any given moment, you're like in a completely different genre, and it's but Adam Sandler kind of does a really good performance, though. I think it's just really weirdly edited or written or something. I don't know. I watched it and I finished it and I went, what did I just see? What just happened? But it's kind of enjoyable. So I don't know.
All right, it's past my bedtime.
We better do this.
Do a Marmaduke and let's get out of here.
Marmaduke and we're done. All right, we got a good one for tonight. Ready? So, this is written, what, in the 80s, we figured?
Ugh.
Yeah, so we've got, we're doing some aerobics. The mom's in her aerobics outfit, and she's watching on TV. I'll lose some weight. It's time for Fat Busters. And on the TV it says, stretch, ladies. Marmaduke's, of course, watching the whole time. Then, 1, 2, she touches her toes. Marmaduke's doing the exercises along with her. Marmaduke's a human.
Marmaduke thinks he's people.
He's a person. Kick and stretch, 3, 4. He does the same move she does. Push-ups, back and elbow straight. He's still doing the same moves with her. And that's it. That's fat for today. That's fat for today. That's not fair. I get the aches and pains, and he loses the weight. And this shows Marmaduke on a scale. And there you have it. Marmaduke thinks he's a person.
Can narrow it down.
Yeah, that squarely fits in the Marmaduke thinks he's people.
Kind of Marmaduke's fat, too.
Yeah, that's true.
He eats a lot.
He likes to eat. But in this one, he's exercising. There you go. There's your Marmaduke for the week.
Maybe somebody like complained like encouraging too much.
Yeah, too much overeating.
Overeating, so they needed to have like a.
In the '80s, you know, big on aerobics and stuff.
I remember my mom would always take me to jazzercise, but I liked it because I got to go in the pool because it was at the community center and there was a pool with a diving board.
I remember they had Mousercise on Disney Channel in the morning, and I hated it because that was what was on before school, and I'm like, there should be cartoons on right now. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, I was really mad all the time because it was on.
Barely, like sometimes Duck Presents would start just as we had to leave.
Or even on the weekends, like you get up really early and then you turn it on and you freaking Mousercise.
Yeah, Mousercise. Or then they had It's You and Me, Kid. You remember that? It's You and Me, Kid. I remember that because we'd have to sit through it to get to the cartoons.
Yeah, because you wanted that. Donald Duck Presents. Na 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 na. Donald Duck Presents.
Stories and da da da. And then you remember DTV?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. My dad, whenever DTV would come on, my dad would run and we'd all dance together.
And there was always some like cool oldies song or something, or like even new songs. They had all kinds of them. But I remember like, and it would always be like Matt. Like those are like that was really cool.
Yeah, Disney Channel was like, I mean, like early. I'm not like, oh, back in my day, but early Disney Channel was really unique. Like it was very different from what we had, and I loved it.
Oh.
All right. We better get you to bed. It's time.
It's time. Thank
you, listeners, for listening.
It's time. It's time. Now I'm singing Starflyer songs.
That's good.
I've made up my mind. That's a song about how he doesn't want to do music anymore.
Yep. I played all the notes, and I'm still broke. How does it go?
It's really depressing.
But the kids, they want a faster beat.
Yeah.
But my kids, they need to eat. Oh. One of these days, we'll wrangle them back into it.
Come back, Jason Martin. We love you. Well, at least he's been making. I mean, he made that album.
He's working on new songs, so you know.
There we go. All right. Well, be sure to go to RadioBrendo.com. Check out all the stuff. Come to our live events.
Join our book club.
Somebody give us $1 million so we can rent out that mansion.
That's the next plan. And buy the name back.
But the first goal would probably be to rent out that.
And we were celebrating buying the name with the mansion.
But we're going to rent, but also we wanted to maybe just rent it for a night to have a show there and invite all our friends.
The realistic version
of it.
So the hypothetical version is...
We buy everything. Okay. We own the Hollywood Hills, and then we fly to Dubai or wherever this guy is. We give him his $2,000, and then we buy his house.
And then we have a party there.
And then we... No, that's good enough.
That's as far as the hypothetical goes.
And then we go to Dubai Land or whatever theme parks.
Or that Disney one, Dismaland.
I want to go to that.
Want to watch the Banksy thing?
Oh, it's nuts.
Oh, we can't go on to that. We gotta get. Also, you should keep clicking on the Amazon link. Thank you for doing that. Send us your letters. Mark, make sure you write back to your pen pal. If anyone else wants to join in on the pen pal action,
start it up. Somebody send Matt one, and then
Matt will do it.
Matthew.
You guys know that people listen to the show. We've got some like famous regulars. So write to someone.
Write to somebody.
Write to one of the regulars, and we'll keep the pen pals going. Yeah. Andrew is totally mocking us for he said.
Just when I think I know
what your show is, you guys do something weird, and I don't know how to categorize it. I'm like, yep.
That's our thing.
If you were to compare our first episodes to what we do now, it's you and me talking still, but that's about it. I kind of want to go back and listen now.
Yeah, I want to listen to the first one.
That'd be funny. We should do a commentary of us. Don't listen to it yet. We should do a bonus commentary where we just listen to it and we talk about it.
So we can put headphones on.
We'll put headphones on and we'll do commentary of our original episode.
Maybe that can be a bonus.
We'll do a bonus since it's taken us a little bit of time to get our 7-inch thing together. That's gonna be a bonus, extra commentary for all backers.
A commentary on a podcast.
A podcast commentary. We could do a whole special series of podcast commentary. We could just start going through our old.
You know how long that would take? Because some of our episodes are I'm not gonna sit. Do you want to sit here for 5 hours?
No, but our first ones we went an hour. We started out pretty short.
Did we?
Yeah.
I guess we have been doing this for a while.
We've been doing this for a long time. It's awesome. What is it?
When do we start? Do we start in 2011? I think we did.
I think it was 2011.
Maybe
That's
2012.
At least 4 years.
I think I might have been down in Irvine when we started, so maybe that was 2012.
Still 3 years.
Still 3 years.
A lot changes in 3 years.
Well, now we're here. We started off.
Yeah. Doing online.
I gotta find those radio because the real first one was our BrendoMan minutes.
That's true. We need to get that.
And we did. I know we talked about Pooh and at least one of them.
We talked about Pooh and we talked about the Goonies. That's all I remember.
Yeah. So not much has changed.
Yeah, that's the same thing. First podcast appearance I ever made. And, Pooh and Goonies.
And now here we are, 100, how many episodes?
82?
182.
182 episodes still talking about Pooh and the Goonies.
Still talking about Pooh, talking about the Goonies.
Just playing the hits.
Speaking of the Goonies, did you see that whole thing with the Goonies house?
Yeah.
The owner, put a giant blue tarp.
I don't know. You remember my mom's friend bought the Goonies house, but I don't know if she still is. I don't know if that's her. I gotta ask my mom. I forgot.
Well, because I guess whoever it was got fed up.
Tired of people there.
I mean, I went there, but they were saying that they give tours regularly. They only gave a tour once.
Okay.
So it's not like he's always letting people in their house. We just walked up and we're around.
What they were saying is it was causing traffic.
People were
trashing
up the place, which that sucks. Because it used to be like there's a sign like Goonies welcome and like please be respectful.
Well, the interview even said like most people are totally cool, but there's like just that crowd that's ruining it for everybody, but they can't have that because their neighbors are getting mad and no one wants to have that, you know. So I get it.
It's unfortunate because it's a really, but I mean there's still all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean that's the house, man.
I know. I bet you after things cool off, they'll take it down again.
I made my trek.
I know.
I did it. It was great. Also, Kindergarten Cop.
Same house?
Well, not the house, but that Astoria, like the bridge.
Oh, okay.
And some of the other stuff. Like, you go and you're like, Kindergarten Cop. Like,
you see they're supposedly making a Kindergarten Cop 2 with Dolph Lundgren?
Dolph Lundgren is filming it right now. That is real.
Like, is it a sequel? Is he the same character? Is it totally different?
Don't know.
Is it a remake? What are we talking about?
There's not a lot of details, but Dolph Lundgren
Does he have a tumor?
Kindergarten Cop 2, it's a tumor.
It's a tumor.
Is
Arnold Schwarzenegger
what if it's Dolph Lundgren impersonating Arnold Schwarzenegger? That'd be kind of amazing.
That'd be cool. I don't know.
I don't know. It's really random. I don't know what it is. I wonder if they got Penelope Ann Miller, because what is she doing? What is she doing?
I don't know.
Broadway?
Maybe.
Just
living off Kindergarten Cop money.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sure that was a load of money.
Dude, everybody saw that movie.
I know. I think I saw it in the theater at least. I think I saw it twice.
Yeah. I remember seeing that one in the theater. At a mall.
Now we're talking about Kindergarten Cop.
All right. I have to take my kid to kindergarten. No, TK. But still.
First grade and
First
TK. Grade cop.
First grade.
TK cop.
That's what it should have been. First grade cop.
You don't know. Maybe that is what it's called.
It could be.
Who knows?
Then it could be, like, what if they keep making them and they get high school cop, and then it's college cop?
No, it'd be junior college cop, college cop, grad school cop,
doctorate
vocational school cop, tech school cop,
and then retirement home cop.
Continuation school cop, online school cop.
Okay.
For-profit rip-off school cop. Phoenix College cop. You will pay your tuition. Job placement not guaranteed. Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the ride.
All right. On that note, for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creasy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody.
I'm going to turn on the air conditioning. It's so hot and sweaty. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, indeed.
Ugh.
I haven't watched Raw yet, but I know that the Dudley Boys came back because it was everywhere. That's exciting. And some other stuff happened. But apparently the internet didn't like SummerSlam, and I thought that was weird because I really liked it. But the internet doesn't like anything. So I don't know. I did see a picture of him. I think they kept the new... I saw a picture of it, the new Wyatt family member. I think they kept him hidden on purpose. He only wrestled like 2 live events apparently for NXT, and then they... So I think they kept him completely hidden from the internet because up until now, like, nobody knew he existed. So good on them for doing that. It's pretty cool. All right. I don't know. I wonder how good he is too. I mean, he's a strong man, so we'll see. But I think for the purposes of like destroying people for the Wyatts, it might work for a while, and then who knows? Yeah, I gotta go to bed because I gotta work tomorrow. But yeah, it's good talking to you guys.
Thanks for
thanks everybody. Thanks Phil. Thanks to the world.
Thanks YouTube.
To YouTube. You're the best. Great job.
Great job.